Hey ladies, it's TamikiaTT. Hopefully you all can hear me good. I'm doing this sort of impromptu live. I always wanted to try a live like from a cell phone. Don't mind the laundry in the background. I am a mom after all, so I got all kinds of baby stuff behind me. I like to keep stuff easily accessible. So anyway, I got a fantastic video suggestion from Gator NNP. Hey Tanya. I always know it is Tanya, but it is an A. So if it's Tanya, hey, how you doing? Glad you could join me. I'm glad I'm not here by myself. But basically, from Gator NNP, thank you, honey. Don't mind me. I got all kinds of like baby stuff all over me. I'm a mom after all. Um, she wanted me to do a video on how I survived my postpartum with a C-section. Being a single mom by choice. Hey, Misha, being a single mom by choice and not having a lot of support, it can be difficult. So I'll talk about what I plan to do. T- um, Glad to be here. Nyla's napping. Oh, nappy nap. I was trying to put Jade and baby G down for a nap. I fed him. He was kind of asleep. As soon as I move him and put him down, he's wide awake. So he's like sitting here wide awake now. But hopefully he'll take his nap. So, um, yeah. So I'll say how I planned to survive. So first things first, I went into my postpartum basically planning to not leave my bedroom except for food or something like that for like the first 2 weeks. So having a C-section can be painful. I didn't know what to expect from my C-section because I did have an open fibroid surgery and I had a vertical incision. And that recovery was actually pretty good. I spent 4 days in the hospital for that surgery. And then I came home. And of course, they told me you're not allowed to bend over, this is that and the other. Well, while my nieces were here, I still had my 3 cats to take care of. So, prior to that surgery, I bought a telescoping uh, scooper. As a matter of fact, I have a brand new one that's never been used. Let me go grab it really quick for the pet owners out there. Okay, here we go. All right, so if you have a pet supermarket or you're familiar with Chewy, you can get it from there. This is a brand new one. See, it's got the tag on it. And basically, it's a little metal scoop. And this is it, not expanded, but this is telescoping, which means it's super, right? So this allows me to not have to bend over to scoop the litter box. So best thing ever. So if you have cats and you're a single mom and there's nobody else to clean the litter box, boom. Okay. So I got this prior to my surgery. Came in handy while I was pregnant. It means I'm not like face close to the litter box. So that's tip number one. If you have a cat and you're by by yourself, you have a cat or multiple like me. I got 3 of them, so it's not like I could avoid cleaning the litter box. I have to clean it. Okay, so that's one thing that keeps me from having to bend over. So that worked out great during my surgery and also during postpartum. Yes, Buggy. Yes, mommy's talking. Okay. Okay, so that was number one. Number two, if I'm going to be in my bed for 2 weeks, I have to um figure out how I'm going to eat. So, and I didn't want to be up cooking, right? So, I'm not really into the meal prep. Like some moms will meal prep, put stuff in the freezer and that kind of thing. I ain't that girl. I really am not. I cook, but I'm not like, I don't want to eat the same thing over and over. That's my thing. I don't want to eat the same thing over and over and over again. So, at one of the baby shows that I attended while I was pregnant, I got introduced to Shipt, SHIP, like Paul, T like Thomas. So they're actually like a grocery delivery service. So they send someone to actually go to the store to shop for you, and they bring it to the house. So at the time that I got my membership was around Mother's Day last year, and they were having a promotion. So it's a subscription service. It's I think it's usually $99 for the year, and as long as you order enough groceries, the delivery part is free. I want to say it's free. And you can tip the shipped person. And but I will say the prices. Sometimes you don't get all the sales that are at the grocery store, and sometimes the prices are slightly different. They say it's supposed to be for the convenience or whatever. I think it's another way for them to make money. At any rate, I found Ship to be very helpful to me. So at the time that I got my membership last year for Mother's Day, they were doing a promotion where they took $50 off. So I only paid $49 for my year subscription. Now, because I am a Shipped member, I can um refer people, right? So if I refer you, you can get $50 off too. And if you join, then I'll get $50 off my next year or something like that. So I don't have it in the description now, but hey, Philly 362. Hey. We're doing good. We're doing good. Jaden's over here being nice and kind of quiet. Yep. So I'm gonna put my shipped referral link in the description, and I'll tag it in the comments so you can find it there as well. So if you're interested in shipped, if it's available in your area, because I've tried to suggest it to people before and they just didn't have any shoppers in their area. So it really depends on where in your area, and I like it a lot. Now it's based on grocery stores that are in your area, so not every grocery store. I can tell you right now, Walmart is not on there. That's likely because Target owns Shipped. So Target is there, I believe. Either Sam's Club or Costco is there. I'm here in Florida, so we have Publix and Winn-Dixie. Both of those are on there for me based on where I live. Okay. So I mostly have them go and shop at Publix, which is literally across the street. But who wants to pack up a baby to go shopping? The car seat takes up the whole cart. That whole thing is kind of hard to really do a real good shopping trip with the baby. So Shipped comes in a lot handy for the grocery shopping. The other bit is if you really want Walmart has pickup. So if you don't mind getting in a car and driving and just picking up the groceries, that way you don't have to walk around. Or if you don't want to pack the baby up just to go pick up the groceries, they can deliver. If you have it in enough advance time, especially if you're home, delivery can be like $8. Every once in a while, you could probably catch a promotion or something and get free delivery. So there's that. And I also think they have some sort of subscription or something where you can pay a certain amount for like the year or a certain amount a month and get free delivery. So it depends on how often you shop at Walmart, and they'll bring the groceries to your door as well. I will say though, I spend a lot less money on groceries shopping through either Shipped or through Walmart.com because I'm not walking through all of the aisles saying, "Ooh, I want this. Ooh, I want that. Ooh, I want this. Ooh, I want that." So, um, I spend a lot less money on groceries. I buy a lot less junk. I'm not really one that makes a grocery list. I sort of just walk through the grocery store saying, do I want this? Do I want that? So anyway, Shipped or Walmart delivery. You do also have Amazon Fresh. Amazon Fresh, especially if you're a Prime member, you can have 2-hour grocery delivered to your home as well. So that's as far as like groceries. So more like snacks, or even if you need like diapers, wipes, other kind of baby items that you maybe didn't realize, medications. And I'm going to get into that. Things, stuff you need like right away and don't want to wait till the next day or 2 days later for Amazon Prime. You can get Amazon Fresh and it can be there in like 2 hours. Well, you can try to get, because Amazon is mixed in with Whole Foods. So there. So you have that. So just remember, if you're interested in Shipped at all, I'm gonna have a referral link at the bottom of this. All right. So that's as far as groceries go. Now, as far as meals go, because you don't want to buy a bunch of raw food and then have to spend a half hour or 15 minutes or even 15 minutes having to stand up and prepare it when you're recovering from abdominal surgery, right? So I wanted to do some sort of food delivery service, at least for the first 2 weeks that I was home. Um, I settled on Freshly, Freshly. I can put a referral link for that as well. And there are many of them out there, but I settled on Freshly because these were fresh meals that are stored in your refrigerator, and then you pop them in the microwave. They're all like no more than 3.5 minutes. I haven't had a single meal that was more than 3.5 minutes in the microwave, and it's like a full meal, protein, carb, vegetables, um, and boom, meal done. And I don't. It's a decent portion. It's like a plate portion. If you're used to big portions, then this probably one meal probably won't do it for you. But it's a regular portion, and I was watching my weight. I'm still kind of watching my weight. So the portion works well for me. But when you're breastfeeding, you do have to eat a little bit more. One of my concerns is that some of the meals are a little on the low carb side. So they replaced a lot of the pasta with vegetable. So you kind of want to mix it up, I'll say. There are some things that come with like potatoes or rice or brown rice, things like that. So you kind of have to look at it. Freshly is cool. It served its purpose while I was recovering. The problem with it is there isn't a whole lot of variety with Freshly, you know. So I felt like every week I was ordering the same things, and every so many weeks they'll come out with new meals. So you kind of have to take a look at it, but I'll have a referral link if that's something you're interested in as well. But you know, Freshly served its purpose for me. The only other thing I would say is my first delivery that I had scheduled to come, like I got home on a Friday. I had my first delivery to come that Saturday. It got held up in the mail. So FedEx had some kind of issue. It didn't show up on time because these are fresh, made to order. They're, shipped with ice packs. They're only meant to be in transit no more than 2 days and I think 12 hours at the doorstep. So if they couldn't get delivered on Saturday, by the time they got to me on Monday, obviously the meals weren't going to be any good. So I would have to throw them away. So that's happened a couple of times since I've had Freshly. And that was annoying because now I didn't have food to eat, and that was my first experience with them as well. So it didn't really put a good taste in my mouth for them. um so yeah, there's that. So if you want to check them out, there are some other um already prepared meals. There might be something local to you as well, some sort of meal delivery service that can come in and deliver some pre-prepared meals if you don't want to prepare them yourself prior to delivering. So there's that as far as eating. Now, that's probably on the cheaper side. Freshly was about $59 for 6 meals. I figured I could manage breakfast. I could maybe even manage lunch. I just wanted to make sure I had something simple and easy to grab for dinner. So for me, 6 meals was fine. I will say that if you're going to be home, if you're struggling, like when people call you and they you have a baby registry and stuff like that, and people ask you what do you need, and people were asking me long after both my showers, what do I still need, and this is a great registry item, and that is food delivery. You're going to be home. If you have a favorite food delivery, put that on your registry or ask people to send you gift cards. Or, a girlfriend of mine, she bought me 12 meals, which is essentially 2 weeks for me. But they have different plans. So you can get 12 meals in 1 week or what have you. So she bought 1 week and it just happened to be 12 meals. So for me, in the way that I joined, it was 2 weeks worth of meals. So have people do that for you. You know, that came in very, very, very handy. So there's that. And then you also have, Postmates, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all of those sort of delivery options as well. Those are incredibly expensive though. So, if you're like me and she gets stock in Uber Eats, Uber Eats got all my money, okay? That's all I'm saying. I had Uber Eats today. I just had Smash Burger. So, it's crazy. So if you're on a budget, you're trying to save a little bit of money, maybe go the food delivery route. Um, Other than that, then you can get, healthy choice meals or whatever, those frozen meals from the supermarket delivered with something like Shipt or a Walmart grocery. So you have that available. Okay. So that was how I was going to feed myself. I did also prepare by having a postpartum doula. I purchased a package for some postpartum doula hours because I was concerned about lifting the baby and all of that. So I did prepare myself with that. So you don't have to purchase a postpartum doula. My doula costs those hours, they charge by the hour. And my doula has a minimum of 4 hours during the day. Um, and I think day rates and evening rates are the same for the doula that I have, and it's about $30 an hour. So it's really expensive. Um, if you just need someone to help you with light things around the house, maybe lift the baby up to get to hand you and things like that, you don't have to pay $30 an hour. There are home health aid services who have postpartum support services. You don't necessarily need a medical professional, right? They're not coming to clean your wound or anything like that. You just need someone to assist you with the things that are difficult for you at the time. So you could hire one of these sort of home health aid people who aren't necessarily medical, like they're not really nurses or have any medical experience whatsoever, but can help you like around the house, maybe make a meal or something, run an errand or something like that. So that's what the doula would do for me. She'd run errands if I wanted her to go pick up some food, go to the grocery, maybe get gas in my car, or something like that. She's there and is able to do that. But you don't have to pay for $30 an hour to get that. There are cheaper ways to get someone to help with that service. But if you don't have anyone else around, a neighbor, a family member, a friend, there are people who you can pay probably as cheap as $19 an hour, who can be of real benefit. And you don't need them all day, maybe 4 hours a day, a couple days a week, to kind of give you a break. Maybe watch the baby while you nap or something like that. I paid for my doula. I didn't even call my doula. I was 2 weeks in before I even called the doula over here. But I'm a completely different beast. Everybody's different. Everybody's baby is different. This is how I prepared myself. And then what actually happened is, you know, it is what it is. So that's that. So I'm trying to think. I prepared myself with the telescope and scoop so that I could take care of the cats. I have auto feeders for them. I have auto feeder and auto waterer, so they can go about a week and a half, 2 weeks without me having to refill that. And the water is like a 2 gallon water. So they can go about a week and a half, 2 weeks without me having to touch that either. So I just made sure before I went to the hospital that those were full. And that they were taken care of around the clock as far as food was concerned. Now, my one cat, Sky, does have diabetes, and she has to get an insulin needle every day. That was difficult for me because crouching down, usually I would distract her with food to give her the needle. and have to bend over to give her the needle in her back. Well, can't really do that if I'm recovering from the surgery. So I would try to coax her up onto like a chair, or for my fibroid surgery, I would coax her up onto my bed, so that got her a little higher, so I didn't have to bend over to give her the needle. So I just had to come up with creative ways to get her a little closer and up higher to me, so I could give her the needle. And sometimes she was fussy and didn't want it. I didn't fuss with her. If she wasn't being cooperative with me, I said, forget it. And, she just didn't get the medicine that day. I'm not going to fight with a cat and, rip a stitch or whatever. I'm not doing that. So, she was fine. She survived. I survived too. Hi, Michael. Riley, the baby's right here on the floor. He's not on the floor, but he's in this little chair bouncer thing over here on the floor. He's being kind enough to let me get through this video. All right, so I'm trying to think. So that's how the cats got fed. That's how I pretty much fed myself. Now, as far as preparing to take care of a baby while in the bed and not really getting up, a few things. So, first things first, you're having a C-section, it's an abdominal surgery. They want you up and walking. I cannot stress it enough. I'm sure it's going to hurt, but get up and walk. The more you're up and walking, the faster your recovery will be. I have a high pain tolerance. Also, my recovery from the fibroid surgery was awesome. I was surprised that he wanted me to get up and walk literally the next day, and he wanted me to walk around 3 times a day. He wanted me to pace around the floor. So they kind of wanted me to do the same thing for my C-section. Although I didn't get up and walk as often as they wanted me to, because, well, I was tired. So, and my baby cluster fed for 2 nights in a row. I didn't even get that rest the first night he was born. So I spent a lot of time in the bed. They would ask me if I felt like getting up and walking. Nah, I didn't really feel like getting up and walking. Also, I was on an epidural, I think, for the first day as well. So I really couldn't get up and walk until they took the epidural out. I went straight from the epidural medicines to Motrin. I had virtually no pain. I had muscle weakness, of course, a little stiffness, some soreness. Obviously I was cut, but I just didn't have a whole lot of pain. Everybody is different in that way. Even the nurses were like, "Look at you running, like I can't even keep up with you. You're running laps around here." And all the nurses, I would come out, kind of. I'll get right back to that, Michael. The epidural did hurt, kind of. I'll get to that in a second. So, the nurses, I would go out and, I'm pushing the baby in his little bassinet, and I'm just walking around the little 3 cul-de-sacs that were in the hospital on the floor. And all the other nurses were like, "Oh, I heard about you. This nurse said that you just up and running around, So, and the nurses were like, "I'm really impressed with your pain tolerance." And I'm just like, "I'm really not in very much pain." I was probably in less pain for my C-section than I was for my fibroid surgery. They did use the same scar and revise that scar. So if you've been following me, you know that already. So maybe my body's a little numb there already from the first surgery, so it wasn't so bad this time around. I don't know. It wasn't that bad the last time either. I think you kind of just do what you have to do. I mean, I was 6 days postpartum jumping in my car trying to get my car figured out, carrying the baby and whatnot. So I think you just do what you have to do, and you don't really think what you should be doing. You just do what you have to, So just keep that in mind. Like, try to relax and try to not injure yourself. And I had to remember, okay, I just had surgery. Those kind of things wiped me out, So I had to remember to take my beats, sit down, relax, rest, slow down, you know. So that's very important. Michael, to answer your question about the epidural, it wasn't, the needle in my back was not painful. What I did not expect was the sharp shooting pain down my leg as they were administering it. I thought something was going wrong, because I had really sharp pain down one leg. And when I asked about it, they said it was completely normal. It did dissipate within like a couple minutes or something like that. But it was a really, really weird feeling. It's like somebody tapped a nerve and it went straight down my right leg. Now, they say that it could be your left leg or your right leg. It's usually the right leg. And then I think maybe I don't even think I got the shakes or anything like that. And then eventually everything started to get numb. I think one leg took a little longer to get unnumb. They took the epidural out. Um, then the other, it took a while before I could actually stand on my left leg. I think my left leg took longer to get back to normal. So, but there's that. That's the only thing that really hurt aside from the initial pricks of the needles. They put numbing medicine in, and then you don't really feel anything. But again, I have a high pain tolerance, so my level of not really painful may not be your level of not really painful. So there is that. All right. Um. Okay. So preparing myself in the bedroom to live with the baby. I had a bassinet. The bassinet is not attached to the bed, but it's next to the bed. It's in front of my dresser. I have a mirror dresser that sits next to my bed on the side that I sleep in. Hey, Tanya. Hey, I was worried that people wouldn't be able to catch me because it's like in the middle of the week during the week. So, okay, so I have the bassinet. Um, Next to my bassinet, I set up like video cameras in case the baby was sleeping in the bassinet. So just like I would set the video camera up for the crib, I set the video camera up for the bassinet in my room. Um, I also have a bunch of electronics kind of on my dresser on that side. So I have the wipe warmer, and I have an outlet as well. So all the little pieces to plug that up, and so that can charge. Although I didn't use it very much, maybe once he starts sleeping upstairs, I'll use it a little bit more often. But so I have that, and so I just got all that set up prior to going in and delivering. Um, One of the biggest things that was helpful to me was I didn't plan to get up very much to change diapers. I didn't want to do that. So I have a diaper genie that I put right next to the bed. I would have put it next to the bassinet closest to me, but it's would have gotten in the way of me getting out of the bed. So I ended up putting it at the foot of the bed. So it's just kind of there at the foot of the bed. Okay, fine. The next thing I got was a caddy. This here, diaper caddy, right? So this one here I thought was great because it has a little touch light, which is not turning on. Or maybe it is, and I just can't see it because, oh, there it is. So it's got a little light, that you can't really see, but it's got a light here so that if it's dark, I can get a little light in the caddy. So what I have in the caddy is, I'll make sure I turn this light. Wipes were in the wipe warmer. So, but I also had like the sample packs of wipes. So I had tons of those. I have a boy. He was circumcised. I needed plenty of Vaseline, so I was able to clean out the drawers in my room. Everything that they had in the bassinet for the baby, they let me come home with. So all the little tubes of Vaseline, nipple cream, lanolin. If you're breastfeeding, you are going to need this. And I'm going to give you a new breastfeeding mom tip. It's a tip that I got in the hospital, and I've been handing this tip out to everybody who's been complaining about breastfeeding, and it works wonders. Okay, so I was not even dripping milk. I could not expect milk at all prior to giving birth. And I was concerned that I would have a supply issue. Everybody said perfectly normal, first time moms, they often don't drip at all or leak or whatever. Don't worry about it. Okay, fine. Then I gave birth to sorry, my phone. Then I gave birth 2 weeks early. And then I had a C-section. So when you have a C-section, your body takes a little bit to realize that you actually gave birth. So it took a bit for the milk to come in, or for anything to come in. I latched him on my way to my room the day we delivered. I didn't get to latch him in that first hour. Again, it was a C-section. They were also revising my scar. So I was in hour 3 by the time I got to him to latch him. He did latch. Don't know if he was getting anything because, like I said, I couldn't even express any colostrum prior to giving birth. But he latched. It wasn't painful. Okay, fine. We get to the room. That particular night, I expected him to sleep a little bit more. He didn't. He skipped right over that sort of calm baby first night thing and went right into the cluster feeding. So we were up most of the night on one boob, on the other boob, on one boob, on the other boob. And I couldn't tell you whether he was getting anything. And what they were telling me is that the colostrum, even if it's just a drop of colostrum, that was good because the baby's stomach is really small and all of that great stuff. But let me tell you, his stomach might have been small, but his latch was huge. Okay, he had a very strong latch, and it felt like he was like starving. He was like like ravished, you know. So I just he everything hurt. Just everything hurt. So I'm gonna say this: there's a treatment that you should do, and when I have my next baby, because I'm doing that. When I have my next baby next year or the year after, um, I'm totally going to do this from the start. So basically, to help your nipples recover, because they do get very raw, because like I said, the latch was very strong, and they're working really hard to get next to nothing out. So after the baby falls asleep or is delatched, you okay? Oh yeah, yeah. He's teething, so he's got a lot of like saliva, and then he keeps his hands in his mouth, so he kind of chokes himself. You okay? Yeah. You okay? Yeah. So so once you take the baby off, try to express a little colostrum and rub that around the nipple. Let that air dry. Then take some lanolin, put that on. And then if you brought some with you, or if you didn't bring any with you, ask the nurse about the little cooling gel pads. Pardon me, in a cup of ice. So you put that cold on there and you put that on there, and I'm telling you, the next time you breastfeed, your nipples will feel so much better. I just missed that last chat. Let me see. Thank you, Tanya. uh, yes, I'm talking about you. Yes, I am. Yeah. So I so that was the tip, because I was raw and scabbing and so sore. Um and I totally understood why people stopped breastfeeding at that point, because we were 2 nights in. He cluster fed both nights, and he wasn't happy if he was off the boob, and I wasn't happy when he was on the boob. It was the hardest thing ever. And like I said, I got a high pain tolerance, and it hurts. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie, but it's temporary. And if you once my milk started to transition from colostrum to milk, the nursing part, no problem at all. That initial latch though, so it's just a few seconds of discomfort, and then everything was smooth sailing. But that was because I was already raw and agitated, and so because he's constantly on and off the boob, that just took a while to heal. And once that healed up, no problem at all. So we got no problems breastfeeding now. But that's my tip on new mom breastfeeding. Get that colostrum, because what they told me is there's like the antibodies and all the healing things that's in the colostrum. It's really good for the nipples too. So you just try to express like a drop or two and rub that around, let that air dry, then put on some lanolin. And then if you can get them, the little cooling gel pads, Put those on because the cooling sensation helps a lot too. And you will be in a much better place, I'm telling you. All right. You can get through it. Just power through. It's temporary. You can do it. Okay. So the caddy here, back to the caddy. The caddy here was very intentional. I knew for sure certain that I wanted to do the caddy. I could stock it full of diapers, all the things that you need for diaper changing. So uh, hairbrush, nipple cream, hand sanitizer. I had all kinds of samples for like baby lotion, diaper creams, anything. Also, very important, a pad and a pen, and your phone nearby, because I had people calling me and I needed to write stuff down and I didn't want to get up and go. So in your caddy, keep like a pad or some paper or something and an ink pen so you can write stuff down if somebody calls you randomly and you just need to jot something down really quick. Aspirator, this is the one that came in this little health kit. This one doesn't work so great. I like the one that I got from the hospital, the big blue one. That one works a lot better. Um, right. So uh, we'll get rid of question mark there. All right. So the randoms that come into the lives, I don't even know why they bother. All right. So I think that's it for what I have in the caddy. Other things that I had around, or I want to say initially in the caddy, were my medications. So medications that I was on, pain meds, what have you, vitamins I'm still taking, the prenatals. This is that I originally had it in the caddy, but this is actually like the little basket. My little Aveeno gift set came in, so this worked great to hold all these things, and I still keep this stuff on my bed. I would also say if you have like the diaper changing pad that comes in like your diaper bag, I had two diaper bags. So I have my main one that I leave the house with, and I have the other one. You saw the one diaper bag in my hospital bag video. So that bag had a little pink fold out cup like a pad. So I keep that one in my bedroom on my bed so that I'm changing the baby on the pad and not on the sheets. Cause well, he's a boy and an automatic sprinkler, and they poop, they pee. I don't want that on the comforter, so we use the diaper pad. So there's that. Um, I'm trying to think if there's anything else um that I prepared my room for. I think that's it. As far as like getting my house together, I just needed a clear pathway to my bathroom and to the kitchen. So if you're going to focus on something, focus on a clear path to the bathroom and to the kitchen so that you don't trip on anything. Because the last thing you want to do is fall, whether you're carrying the baby or not. You just had abdominal surgery. You don't want to fall, trip over anything. So just make sure you have a clear path, and you're good. Slippers by the bed also helps. If you got tiled floors, my bathroom floors are tiled. My kitchen and foyer is also tiled, so slippers are also good. I will also say for shower sake, for my fibroid surgery, they were very adamant about me being careful in the shower. So at that point in time, I bought a shower chair. You can get one at the Walgreens, the CVS. You can buy it online, have it shipped. I put it together myself when I came home from the surgery. It was really simple. So I have a shower chair, and so instead of standing for long periods of time when I got in the shower, when I could shower, I could sit. So I would suggest a shower chair as well. So that will help out a lot. Uh, I'm trying to think anything else. Um, I think that's it. Now my bassinet has one of those white noise makers and a little light on it, so I didn't need one of those around. However, if yours does not, you can buy a portable noisemaker thing. They have them to go on the strollers. So this is one. Um, and then you can kind of keep this in the bedroom with you if you just need something to make white noise. Now this here makes a few different sounds. So this is like oceany, watery. It does a heartbeat. It does just plain white noise. And then it also plays lullabies. This is the only lullaby it plays over and over and over. And you can turn it on where it's just on, it's battery operated, or you can change the time, put a timer on it. So it's 15, 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Let me, there we go. So, so there's that. So this is a My Baby. This was actually on my registry, and Sandra got me this. It was in her box of goodies. So thank you, Sandra. I use it all the time. I just took it off this chair that the baby is on. So, but he's awake. He doesn't need it right now. So yeah, so I would say have something like this, like some kind of noisemaker or something. Like I didn't realize how many noisemakers I had around. My bassinet came with one on it. I have a Hatch Baby light and noisemaker. So I have that in the room, and then I also have this. You don't need that many. Also, there are a number of baby apps that will play white noise from your phone as well. There's a little there's an app that I do is I think it's the Baby Plus app. I think you can get white noise and lullabies and things like that from those apps. So if you don't have this, the app is free. The noisemaker is free. You can use your phone if you're stuck in the bed. Okay. Um, Other postpartum C-section tips I would have is look into a binder. If they don't give you a binder in the hospital, ask for one. The binder is really good at helping to support you. So, getting, while the pain may be minimum, getting up and down, the weakness in your abdominal muscles, it's difficult, right? So that's going to hurt for a while. It's going to be sore, and you're going to have a time and some trouble. So I would say wear the binder just like you would wear it in the hospital all the time. Wear the binder at home. I will say because I had a vertical incision, I wanted to wear the binder more. I didn't wear it enough, which is why my scar has started to keloid because of the tension from me eating and just water retention and stuff like that, sort of stretching the skin a bit. I should have worn the binder longer. So I would say wear the binder for a while. I would say maybe 8 weeks, 8 weeks to wear the binder, even to sleep. I stopped wearing the binder because it started to sort of dig into my rib areas, especially when I was sleeping and it was becoming really uncomfortable. So I would say wear it as long as you can until it starts to become uncomfortable for you, and then maybe try to wear it during the day and not so much at night while you sleep or something like that, just to, kind of keep everything together there. So the binder definitely helps. If you recall, I did pack a binder in my hospital bag just in case, but they did give me a binder after they took the pressure dressing off of my wound. They did put me in a binder, so I didn't have to use the one that I brought. And as the water retention comes off of you, the binder gets looser. So you just have to come in and out of the shower and just make it tighter to fit you, to keep the swelling down from that area, because that also creates tension and all of that. So I don't know, I think I was moving around so much I forgot that I had surgery. um Not saying that's a good thing, that's actually a bad thing. I needed to rest more than I did, but again, I was out doing what I had to do, not what I really wanted to do. What I wanted to do was lay back and not be bothered with my baby. Okay. And as far as, the other question came up is how I got home from the hospital. So the time I spent in the hospital, I was in the hospital about 4 days. Technically I only had one visitor, and that was my niece. She had come one time while I was in there, And I had no visitors all the other days. Didn't bother me. I didn't have to share my baby with nobody. Nobody bothered me. It was just me and him getting to know each other, bonding, and all that great stuff. I didn't even turn the TV on while I was there. The nurses would come in. I like coming in your room. It's peaceful in here. Yep, that's what we like, peace and quiet. So that was that. So as far as getting home, I did have a friend bring me home. Um, the hospital, doesn't want you to drive home. You're usually on some sort of narcotic medication, which you shouldn't be operating heavy machinery under, right? So the hospital's not going to want you to take yourself home. Now, once you do, once you're out the doors and they set you free and you're out of their driveway, they're not gonna, switch their head about it. So I was perfectly prepared to have someone come and act like they were taking me home, basically drive me from the door to the parking garage where my car was. I get my car, they go home, and I go home with the baby. So I was perfectly prepared to do that. Fortunately, I didn't have to do that. I did have a friend who came in and picked me up, and she got us home. Um, what I believe she did is she drove. I think she drove her car to my house. Her parents followed her over here, and then they dropped her off at the hospital, and then she drove my car back to the house. So then she was able to just get in her car and go home. So that's how that worked out. There's some other drama that happened that day. We don't need to be. That's neither here nor there. But that's how I got home. But I did ask, what if a mother didn't have someone to drive her home? And the hospital said that they would put them in a taxi. So if you don't have someone to drive you home, just tell the hospital and they'll make sure you get home in a taxi. So don't worry about not being able to do that. Okay. Uh I think that's it. So we covered how I got home from the hospital, how I managed to feed myself, what I did to make things easier for myself since I was recovering from the C-section, as far as the baby is concerned. I will say the baby slept most of the time in the bassinet. Again, I had a pretty decent recovery. I wasn't in a whole lot of pain. Um, I will say though, they give you Colace with the C-section. They give you Colace in the hospital. They try to send that to the pharmacy, but because it's over the counter, the pharmacy didn't include it with my other medications, and so I didn't have it when I picked them up. Um, get the Colace, okay? Even if you think you're fine, get the Colace. I'm telling you, you're gonna need it. You're gonna need at least one bottle so that you can take one twice a day for 15 days. You will get the Colace. That's all I'm saying. Get the Colace. I'm not trying to be. Somebody's showing up. What's going on here, baby? What's going on? You throwing up? Yeah. You throwing up? I just cleaned this. Yeah. All right. Didn't want him choking. Okay. Sorry, y'all. All right. So, yeah, the Colace. You're gonna need it. Trust me. Um, and it's helpful. Very helpful. I think that's it. Now, I will say going to the bathroom and stuff was a little easier for me. A little old lady lived in my house before I lived there, so there is a grab bar on the wall next to the toilet in my house. So that's beneficial for me. And then I could hit the grab bar and the sink and kind of brace myself to get up and stuff. If you don't have something like that at home, maybe a walker might help in that situation, or a chair or something in the bathroom to help you get up, like something you can brace your arms on to help with the abdominal part of getting up and sitting down on the toilet. So, not trying to be nasty, just trying to be real. Hi, Oreo. So, there's that. I think that's everything. So, postpartum doula or home health aide or someone to just come and provide you some support. Um, anything you can do to help with the bending over and whatnot. You know, I'm not going to say sleep with your baby in the bed. I didn't. I will say that with him being that small, I slept better with him in the bassinet. Now, was it a pain to keep getting up to pick him up out of the bassinet? It was, but I slept better with him in the bassinet. That's all I'm saying. You do what you want to do. It's your baby. Um, does he sleep in the bed with me sometimes now? Yes, he does. And I sleep quite comfortably. He's bigger now, you know, when he moves, I can feel him. I don't really roll in my sleep, so I'm not worried about rolling on top of him or anything like that. It's just there are little people that take up a lot of space in your bed. So, um, I don't know. I wake up and I'm halfway off the bed. How someone so small manages to push me off the bed, I have no clue. And he's always right up under me. So it is what it is. Jaden, you want to say hi to the people before we say goodbye? I don't know. Does anybody have any questions? I think there's 3 people still out here, 4 people now. If anybody has any questions about anything that I just discussed, Tina Paprika, hello, hello. Oh, you got the lounger and the hey. I think I bought this one, the lounger I got as a gift. But the boppy I don't use that much, which is probably why it looks so good. And the lounger I use all the time. All the time. I use all the time. And it's been in the washing machine a few times too, because well, babies, blowouts. But welcome, welcome. So we're just talking about how I survived postpartum with a C-section. Yes, the lounger is a game changer. I like to use mine on the couch, although they say to use it on the floor. Eh, it helps when I need to really like kind of be away, and he's not rolling over yet, so I'm not really worried about him rolling off. But if he does sort of manage to scoot himself, he doesn't have far to go. If he's on the floor, so I put him on the floor in the lounger. But most of the time, I usually have him up here on the couch with me, and that keeps him close by as opposed to his soother, which is kind of like over there, and I have to like get up a lot. I'm lazy, y'all. Sorry. I'm lazy. If I could sit on this couch all day and not move, I would. Yes. Hi, Oreo. Meet the kitty. You see the kitty? Yeah. Okay, let me get the baby. Uh, hello. Hello. Come here. Come here. Oh, you heavy, heavy boy. Yes. Say hello to the people. Say hello. Do you see yourself? Yeah, I know you don't see the people. You see yourself, though, yeah? You see yourself? Don't look at that light. Yeah? Yeah. Yeah, you like to make a mess. But yeah, so say hi, baby G. Say hello. Say hello to the people. Say hi. You were doing all that talking before. All right. My little one just made 6 weeks, and I cleared from my C-section to return to work. It was tough. You're my inspiration. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wish I'd have thought of this earlier. I would have videoed something like this sooner, because I understand, like, you know, as Misha, thank you. Um, you know, that there's a lot of people who do videos on, you know, postpartum and stuff like that. But as a single mom with not a lot of support, you know, it was pretty much just me and him for the first 2 weeks. Even though I did have the postpartum doula, that was my plan. It just, we were so out and about messing around with my car, I didn't get an opportunity to call a doula over. So it was just me and him. And we survived. We survived. That's the important thing. We survived. Nothing got cleaned. You know, you're recovering from surgery. The idea is to not do too much. So he was the priority. As long as he was good, I was good. And I wasn't expecting to have to get up and go as much as we did, but we were out of the house, pretty quickly. I got home on Friday night. Sunday, we were in the car trying to get my transmission looked at. Sunday didn't work out. So Monday, he had his first pediatric appointment. So we were out the house very quickly. I was very thankful to be able to be up and walking around and feeling good enough to just take him to his appointment and not be and to be walking upright. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you have a C-section, or if you're having a C-section, they tell you to get up and walk, get up and walk. The sooner you can walk upright, with or without a binder, the sooner you can walk upright, the better. I'm saying get the binder because the binder will provide that abdominal support that you would normally be doing with your arm. So that will free your hands up. So get the binder. Get the binder, preferably from the hospital if you can get it from there. But if not, they do sell them on Amazon. And I think in one of my comments, I'll dig up a link to the one that's closest to the one that I had from my fibroid surgery. And I'll put that link in the description and in the um tagged comment as well. Okay. Now I don't have anything with Amazon or anything like that. I didn't purchase the thing myself. I'm just saying the binders that I have I got from the hospital. I didn't purchase them anywhere, but these will be the ones that look as close to the ones that I have. Okay. And they go up to plus sizes as well. That one that I have found before. Okay, so if I see a few more people jumped in here, I don't know if anybody has any questions. If you have any questions, I can answer them real quick. We got maybe another 3 minutes before we hit an hour here. Let me know. I'll give y'all a minute to type. He's got that hand in his mouth. You see that? That's a teething baby. That is a teething baby right there. Yes. Yes. Hey, Rachel. Hey, we're doing good. I'm just doing a little video here that was by request. And I wanted to get the information out to her because she's going to be delivering in a few weeks. So any preparation she needed to make, I wanted to make sure she had it. I'm so behind on posting my other videos. I didn't want her to wait for this information. Okay. Hey. Oh. He sometimes wants to stand, but not really. He's not really standing. I'm supporting him. But he does sort of stretch his legs out. Yeah. 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 Oh, one other thing, you could have burp cloths, right? For spit ups. These are who are these from? These are Green Sprouts. I got these from Bye Bye Baby. The caddy with the light and all of that I also got from Bye Bye Baby. It's a skip hop caddy with a light, with a night light. Hello, Cass. Bless. Not sure what you're trying to say there. All right. So there we have it. There we have it, ladies and gents, if you're watching. If nobody has any questions, when am I due back at work? And retrieval, you may have mentioned it, but I forgot. So, Rachel, my leave is to May, like the beginning of May. I'll be going back to work. I plan to do another retrieval in like April, May-ish. I started doing the math, and the money's just not there. I think my last live I was talking about it. You might have missed it, but The money's not there. It's a lot of money. So what I've decided to do instead is to do the retrieval next year. So okay. So why next year and not this year is because my insurance, I have a deductible. And with my medical insurance, the deductible with just me is $1,500. But now that I have baby G here, the deductible is $3,000, right? So while I do have coverage for IVF, insurance is not going to pay anything until I pay $3,000. So I have to pay that initial $3,000 deductible, correct? And then IVF will be 100% paid. Um, After that, however, there are elements of IVF that are not covered by insurance, like the PGS testing and perhaps cryopreservation. So some insurances will cover cryopreservation and some will not. I have a new insurance, Blue Cross Blue Shield now. So United Healthcare did not cover cryopreservation. So I previously paid $1,000 per cycle for cryopreservation. I don't know if Blue Cross Blue Shield will cover it or not, but let's just say they don't. So that's an additional 1,000. The PGS testing, the biopsy for the PGS testing costs $2,500. So that now we're up to 3,500, right? That's just the biopsy. The actual lab testing, also not covered by insurance. What cost me, I had 3 embryos to test, that cost me $600. So now we're up to $4,100. I also have to buy more sperm. Let's just go with even numbers and say 1,000 per vial. I would want to get at least 2 vials. So now we're at $6,100, right? Now, if I'm looking for sperm with my same donor, I may have to pay up to $3,500 for sperm because my donor is sold out and retired. So if they don't have any, pardon me, in storage for siblings, and I can't find anyone willing to part with vials that they've already purchased, then I have the option to try to reactivate the donor, and that costs $3,500. So I'm looking at most $3,500 for sperm. So you put that $3,500 on top of the $4,100, it's $7,600 so far. Hi, Char, right? Hello, I'm a new subscriber and a prolific lurker. Just wondering how you picked your sperm bank. My future, oh, hold on. Let me get that. My future wife and I are just beginning to look into the process. I'm already 32 and so ready. Um, I know, Rachel. I know it's a lot. So I started doing the math, and I was just like, I'm about to be unpaid. So like, this week is my last paid week of work, and then I will be unpaid starting next week on until I go back to work. For like my regular job. I did mention in other videos, I don't know if I mentioned them in the live. Again, my videos are extremely behind, but I did pick up a little part-time job to make some money so I could stay out on leave. Now, my part-time job is from home. I don't have to go anywhere, but I am technically working part-time, but with the baby around. So I don't need any care for him. The hours are kind of my own. And so I'm doing that work to make some extra cash so I can afford to be off longer and not have to go back to work early. As far as picking my sperm bank, I didn't give it a whole lot of thought. My RE gave me the brochure to California Cryobank. So it didn't even dawn on me to look anywhere else. I just looked at California Cryobank and went with, I found a donor that I loved and stuck there. If you're not finding what you like, I think the cryobank is important. Yeah, yes. Yes. So the cryobank is important, yes. But I think how you feel about the donor is more important. So you could go to California Cryobank and not like any of their donors. You know, they're a reputable cryobank. They've been around for a while. They're also one of the more expensive ones. I mean, there are some cheaper cryobanks out there. I kind of wish I would have looked around a little bit more, but I don't know. I was a little bit lazy in that aspect. I just really didn't search around. Um, you know, my doctor said he had used that cryobank for years. The year, I want to say a year or two prior, when I asked before, he had given me a booklet that had a listing of donors in it by nationality and stuff. So I did have that to look at initially. Yep, Zytex. I mean, that's the one. Zytex is in. That's in Georgia, right? I think that's the one in Georgia. But you know, you've got Seattle Sperm Bank. I mean, there are so many of them. So many. There's definitely a major underrepresentation of donors of color. Yes, yes. In California Cryobank, you know, being an African American woman, I wanted an African American donor. California Cryobank had over 200 donors at the time that I was looking, and about 12 of them had any kind of African American, whether they were mixed or completely African American, just 12. And I looked at all 12 profiles. I favorited a few. I wasn't ready to purchase at the time. I favorited a few of them. My favorites ran out very quickly and didn't come back. And the rest of them, I just wasn't. I, what could I say? I wasn't interested in them. I went through the donors as if I was auditioning husbands, and I wasn't feeling the rest of them. So I thought of other nationalities that I found myself attracted to and tried to look specifically for those. Um, I came up with nothing with that as well. And I eventually, oh wow, okay, maybe because they're in Georgia, they got access to maybe more people who are willing to do that. Because I want to say, are they close to Atlanta? So I would hope in Georgia they would have more African American donors. But it's half my baby. I'm allowed to be picky. Absolutely, absolutely. I you know, there's a bit about it like you're picking a donor. You're not doing it for love. So there's a bit. You should be allowed to be a little superficial. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Ah, yeah, I mean, I date outside my race, so I'm not like, you know, he has to be black. Like I wasn't willing to settle um just to get someone who was African American. You know what I'm saying? So um I found this donor. He happened to be Dominican. And I was just like, oh wow, I wasn't even thinking about Dominican. That's close enough to black. And he just happened to be a light skinned Dominican. So my baby's super light skinned. But I'm not that dark either. And I don't know if anybody's noticed. My dad is super, super light skinned. Like he's basically red bone. Um oh, Ethiopian, yeah, that'll be good. Is he like chocolate chocolate? I'm biracial, so I don't care. Yeah. I just my dad's mother I think was half white, half black. My mother's mother has some Native American. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm like there were I think milk chocolate. Yes. Yes. Yes to the chocolate babies. Ethiopian and Zimbabwean. She's wanting an African donor. All right. Ooh, yes. Okay. Well, there you have it. The live brings people together, man. Get your suggestions out there. Cause it's a hard choice to make, and I bet he is. I bet he is. Yes. They give you or you're looking at adult pictures over at Zytex. I know every cryobank is a little different. I've seen some um every shade of brown. Yes. Yes. Say yes. Every shade of brown. um or adult and child. Okay, because there are some cryobanks that will show you child pictures. There are some cryobanks that will show you only adult pictures, and some will show you both. Hey, Miss Anonymous. California Cryobank at the time that I was looking only did child pictures, but now they're starting to show adult pictures as well. So I think they're leaving it up to the donor whether he wants to give his adult picture or not. Anything you pay for. But let me tell you, my donor don't have adult pictures. I wish he did. But you don't have adult pictures. But if you're looking at California Cryo and you don't want to pay for the subscription, I got a code for you. I got a code for you. You'll never have to pay that $250. I never pay it. I've never paid it. The code has not expired in the last 2-3 years. If you want it, I give it to you. Yeah. Send me. I don't want to put it out there like that, but send me if you got me on Instagram, message me, DM me on Instagram. I'll send it to you. Yes, yes. Get that code, and the code never expires. I've used it over and over and over again. As a matter of fact, I got an active subscription now that will expire in about 30 days from that same code. So, if you're looking into California Cryobank, don't pay that 250. I got a code for you. Um, let's see. Seen some articles where there are lawsuits because cryobanks didn't disclose certain info about donors like mental illness. IG or email, either one. I'm checking both. Either one is fine. Um, like mental illness. Well, how are they supposed to know? It's not like the cryobanks are doing the psych evaluations. I guess maybe they should ask for some kind of medical records or what have you. I didn't know about that. But I know they're starting to do these expanded genetic tests for diseases and stuff like that too. So lots of things have changed, even in the last 2 years. Lots of things have changed about the cryobanks. So I don't know. I've been on a bunch of forums and like Facebook groups, and people were always saying how one of their close friends have just said, "Why don't you just find some random guy in the club to get pregnant by?" Um, and it's just like, I was telling people how the choice to be a single mom is not popular, you know, and it seems like it's more acceptable if I would have just got knocked up by some random. I was just telling this at my dentist. If I just got knocked up by some random, that's more acceptable than the way I made my baby today. Yeah, crazy enough. Yeah. But you know what? I saw when I first started looking through the donors, I was saying, well, they got these medical records here. Who would report that they had bad medical history in their family? Like, because the first few I went through was like nothing, everything's healthy, clean, healthy, clean, healthy, clean. And then I started running into a few people who actually reported like um cancer and other mental disorders like bipolar and stuff like that in their family. Not necessarily immediate. Most of them were like cousins, aunties, not like father or sibling, not like parents or siblings, but just sort of like cousins and stuff like that. But I didn't think anybody would report that kind of stuff and they would still clear as a donor. But I guess the onus is on us to look at that information. It's there. They thought the donor was good enough to be a donor despite all of the crazy medical history. Um, I saw all kinds of stuff in there: strokes, heart attacks. I was like, wow, all right, I already know what's going on with my family. We need to avoid this. But at the end of the day, if you were doing it for love, you wouldn't know any of this information, right? About their family history or even their own medical history. You wouldn't know if you were doing it for love. So I just, it's all a gamble. You know what I mean? It's all a gamble. At least you're not going to catch an STD from the guy, you know? At least you know that. A few scary things. Sickle cell, yep, all of that. Black people got sugar and pressure. Yeah, exactly. And they run on both of those, run rampant on both sides of my family. Okay, so if I can avoid somebody who got diabetes and high blood and hypertension, you know, great. You know, or maybe he just doesn't know. You know, it always makes me wonder how much these guys get paid. To do this because there's so much information that they have to fill out, and I don't see how the cryobank can really validate all of that information. You know, I don't know if they're doing interviews with people, maybe the donor's parents or something. I don't know. It couldn't possibly, right? So I I don't know how they validate the information. They could all be totally false, and everything could be completely made up. We don't know. We don't know. But at the end of the day, that's the story I was told. That's the story I'm sticking to, and you just hope you get what you bargained for. That's all. You know, some some cryobanks are a little cheaper, but again, I'm not saying cheaper makes them worse, or that more expensive makes it better. But you do get what you pay for, and those cryobanks may be cheaper because maybe they're not running the same checks, possibly. I don't know. I can't say. I'm just saying. You know, Um, there's a reason for all of it. I still don't think sperm should be that expensive, especially considering how little they give you. I don't think it should be that expensive. That's crazy, but it is. It's a lot. So yeah. So my plan is to do my retrieval next year. And I'm waiting for next year because I don't want to spend my $3,000 deductible at the end of this year, then have to have more treatment and then roll into next year paying yet another deductible. So I'd rather just wait for the new year to roll over and start everything fresh anew in the beginning of the year, and try not to waste any time. The good news about that is I can do a retrieval. If I get an embryo out of it, I can roll straight into a transfer instead of freezing it, hoping that it's a good embryo. Wondering if I should do. Hold on, I think I'm about to lose my phone here because my battery. Hold on, baby. Let's plug the phone in. All right. So let me see how much battery. Okay, I got 8% left. All right. So, um, I was hoping maybe Blue Cross Blue Shield would allow me to bank. So if I did only get one embryo, that I could roll into another transfer. I mean, not transfer, another retrieval to try to get, maybe another embryo. But I don't know. I'm kind of worried because at 38, I was only able to get one normal embryo out of each retrieval, and I'm going to be close to 41. So, being realistic, I could possibly roll out of that retrieval with no normal embryos. And, are we charging? We are charging. Okay. It keeps saying low battery. Can I get, let me see. Let me see. I think I've been missing some, okay, some chats here. Yeah. I kind of assume everybody got a cousin with diabetes here. Child's father told me his medical history so the baby could get tested. Well, did he tell you before or after you got pregnant? That's what, like, they don't tell you that stuff before. FSA. I do have, oh gosh, she spit up all over me. Hold on. Hold on, baby. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Okay. All right. It makes insurance is a scam. Yes. Do you think fresh is better than freezing? As far as fresh being better than freezing, there's debates. Some people will say freezing is better because the focus on a fresh, when you do a fresh transfer, the focus is, especially with IVF, well, I guess only with IVF, the focus is on your stimulation of the follicles, not the preparation of your lining. There is the preparation of your lining, but the focus is not there. So I've read a lot of things that said freezing is better because in a frozen cycle, the focus is on your lining. So there's debate. Uh, a flexible spending account. Yes, yes, I have. So my job does a HSA, so that's a health spending account. It's a little different from a flexible spending account, in which it means that I can't say I want $3,000. Like I can say I want $3,000 in my FSA, and January 1st, I got $3,000 to spend, right? And then they just take the 3,000 over the course of a year. With a health spending account, I can say I want 3,000 over the course of a year, and I have to wait. It's like a bank account that you can use for health purposes. So I can only spend what's in the account. The great thing about it is that an FSA is use it or lose it. With an HSA, the health spending account, it rolls over. Whatever I don't use just rolls over into the next year. So I can put money into it this year, and that money will be sitting there on January 1st for me to use next year. So that's the benefit of the HSA. Now, because I have an HSA, I can get something called a limited FSA. The limited FSA is an FSA account, but it can only be used for vision and dental. So I just had to get a crown because I cracked a tooth while I was pregnant. So the crown was basically going to cost me a little over $700. So instead of getting it done last year in December after the baby was born, I decided to wait until this year. So in my limited FSA, I said I'm gonna put $900 in the limited FSA, and that works just like an FSA. So that 900 was available to me January 1st. So I was able to pay for my crown that way. So all right, let me see. Um, let's see. Let me see. Gotta hope you gotta hold Jaden with just one. No, actually, Jaden was my second transfer. He was my first embryo, but that I retrieved, but he was my second transfer. So I guess technically it took two. Is it tough being a mother? Any postpartum experiences? Oh, I got a whole lot of postpartum experiences, but not mentally cold. I got videos I haven't posted yet. All of it's pretty much, uh-oh, she might fall asleep. Yeah, you're nodding off. Oh, look at that baby. Come on. That baby sheepy. That baby sheepy. Yeah, she is. um just life, not so much, doesn't have anything to do with being postpartum, just life being in a way. um but I mean, yeah, being a mom is tough, but it's tough for everybody, not just because I'm single. He's hardcore teething. Yeah, he sure is. Are you aware you can make money in YouTube? Also, third-party apps can help you get donations. For the time being, stream time is money. Just saying, I understand. I don't do YouTube for money. I mean, I've got monetization turned on. If I make a few pennies, then cool. I'm not trying to be YouTube famous or anything like that. I'm just a regular girl here sharing her experience. That pregnancy wasn't planned, so I guess it was by force. No father isn't around. He wasn't really involved from the jump. Just mentioned his health issues. Well, that was good that he was nice enough to mention it. He didn't have to. He could have rolled out and didn't say anything. First transfer was natural. Yes. No. Was that natural cycle? My ERA was a natural cycle ERA. I don't think my transfer was not natural cycle. No. The major difference with that first transfer is I had a suppository for progesterone instead of the progesterone and oil. I have Streamlabs. Thanks, mentally cold. That's fine. Dang, if only they would combine the availability of FSA with the rollover HSA. I know, I'm telling you. I wish. I wish. Um, yeah, mentally cold sometimes, but sometimes that ain't always good. So I'm fine. We're doing good here. Does he sleep in his crib? Nope, he has not slept upstairs yet. Everything I was reading was saying that they suggest that you co-sleep, not necessarily in the same bed, but in the same room with the baby um, for up to the first year. So my bassinet that I have will go up to 25 pounds, and it actually drops down when he starts to pull himself up and stand up. He won't be too big for the bassinet. It drops down so he can't fall out of it. So it's kind of like a crib. So all right, mentally cold. I don't need the lesson. Thank you so much though. Thank you, appreciate it. Um so it's a I want to say it's a Dream Labs. Let me go look at it. I'm gonna put him down and I'm gonna go look at it. Oh, it's a Ingenuity Dream something. Hold, hang on, baby. That baby, yeah, that baby. Go down. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's a Ingenuity. So Ingenuity, INGEN Nuity. UITY. Let me see if I can type. Can I type in here? It won't let me type here. I'm doing this live from my phone, so I don't see where I can type. There's nowhere for me to type in here. But it's like it's a dream something by Ingenuity. Hold on, I got the computer up here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Come on, computer. It's being slow. My mom was a whole 36 with fibroids when she had me. I hope my kids are as determined as I was. I'm telling you. My mother was 36 when she had me, and she had fibroids as well. I don't know if she had fibroids at the time that she had me, but she had fibroids later in life, and she eventually had like a full hysterectomy due to them. So I guess I have that to look forward to in my future, I guess. Um, let's see. I agree. The year room sharing. I'm a helicopter mom in the making. Yeah, I mean, I just I'm trying not to be like paranoid, but they're so small and they do forget to breathe, and then they scare you with all the information on SIDS and all of that. So um I just try. I'm not sure if they make mine. It's a Ingenuity Dream and Grow. I think that's what it is. The Dream and Grow bassinet. But there's a few different ones, and mine has like a little you know how the carriers have the little tent over it. My bassinet has like the little tent, and then it comes with the little thing with the noisemaker and stuff. So but that one was cool. So um right after my first transfer, when Toys R Us and Babies R Us was going out of business, I got the bassinet then. So I paid what, $75, 75 or $79 for it. Still, everything was 50% off. So yeah, ingenuity, dream, and grow. That's what I have. Okay. Um oh, I must have the deluxe. Yeah, I think I have the deluxe version because it's got the little, sorry, YouTube video. But yeah, so I don't know. I the good news is since I'm not doing the retrieval so soon, I can keep breastfeeding. I don't there's no rush for me to store so much milk um for him to have breast milk for a year. So I get to keep breastfeeding. That's the benefit. And good thing too because my freezer is completely full. My entire freezer door is nothing but breast milk, and I have another container that has more breast milk in it, and I have no more room to store breast milk in my freezer. So I have not been pumping lately, uh, but I probably will start pumping again once he starts going to bottles. I'll start pumping again. That way I can keep the milk replenished. For now, that milk will last another 5 months or so. Yep. All right, let's make sure I didn't miss any other questions in here. Um, let's see. I will say he was doing really good in his bassinet, but now he's kind of regressed a little bit. He goes down a lot faster when he's in the bed with me. I've also mastered the ability to breastfeed while laying on my side. So now when we get in the bed, he assumes he's getting a boob. So I'm telling you that baby, a creature of habit he is. Creature of habit. Um, okay, Char, I missed that. Even in the LGBT world, just get a guy. You're cute. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, why? One, that's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Dangerous to just go get a random dude. Super dangerous. All right. I think. Did anybody ask the question that I did not address? Let me know. I don't want to miss anything. I think I got everything. All right. When did I start pumping? I uh, okay. Let me see. Oh, mentally cold. Thank you, but I'm good. Let's see. Yeah, internet Janet. Oh boy, you need extra. Hate to admit it, but both kids. All right, mentally cold. Time out. I mean, you're not being. You're like I'm good. You don't have to help me anymore. I don't need. I don't want it. Save it for someone who does want the help. Both kids slept with me from day one. I could get them to sleep alone during the day for some reason. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with him sleeping with me. The studies out. There's arguments about that. I understand the dangers of rolling over on a baby and stuff like that. I'm not worried about that. He sleeps with me now, just because it's convenient. Not because that's what I really, really want. I'd prefer him to sleep in the bassinet because, like I said, I sleep better when he's in the bassinet. I'm not getting pushed off the bed. I sleep more sound with him in the bassinet. He doesn't sleep that sound. I guess the warmth of me or the smell of me or something enables him to sleep longer. So for now that I'm tired and I'm sort of working, I need longer sleep. And if I can get longer sleep with him sleeping in the bed next to me, I'm all for that. Miss Anonymous, I started pumping. The jeweler suggested I not pump for the first 2 weeks. So, because that time was me establishing my supply, and she didn't want me to pump for fear that I would get like mastitis or something and generate too much milk, which is kind of what I wanted, right? But I listened to her and I didn't pump until after I hit 2 weeks postpartum. I started also, I should say, no, I know the deep freezer. The problem is I don't have anywhere to put it right now. So it probably go in my garage, but then I gotta get rid of that old refrigerator that's back there. I would use that old refrigerator, but it's filthy. And I'm not gonna clean it. So I'm not gonna use it. But yeah, I would love to have a deep freezer, but it's okay. I mean, he's 4 months now. In a couple of months he'll be eating solid, so he won't need as much breast milk. And I don't mind keeping pumping and just he's been bottle fed before, so I don't mind like sort of rolling over the supply, like giving him a bottle and pumping instead. Once I go back to work, he's going to be bottle fed anyway most of the day. So, you know. That's how I survive breastfeeding while laying down. I'm telling you, because I can just lay back, go to sleep, and he lets go when he's done, and that's that. Hey, Mrs. Living in Hope. Hey, Deidre. I can't even share my bed with a needy cat. I'm telling you, I got a cat and a baby, one on each side of me. The poor cat is like she want to snuggle up under me, but then she looks at the baby like, but the baby's there. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I'm fussing at her because I don't want her to sit or walk on anywhere where the baby would lay his head, because the cats get in and out of litter boxes and stuff like that. So I don't want her butt anywhere near the pillows or anywhere near his head or face is going to be. So I feel like I'm mistreating the cat sometimes. All right, Rachel. It was great chatting with you too. Have a great shift at work. Besides, if your bed is big enough, you should be okay. I mean, it's a queen. And I only sleep on one side. He got the whole middle and the side to himself. But I wake up and I'm hanging off the bed. Okay. No. So I have a Spectra 9S. It's not hospital issue, but my insurance did give it to me for free. Hang on a second, I'll get it because it's right here. Oh, let's see. All right, I'm back. So I should say technically I had two pumps. So what I wanted to do when I pumped is I wanted to feed the baby on one boob and pump the other boob. So I didn't want to feed the baby on both boobs in a session. So that's kind of what I established, being able to feed him from one boob and pump on the other. So I started because I was being lazy and I didn't want to go through the process of like cleaning everything. I started with a haka. This one's got some film or something and it probably need to sterilize it. But I started with the haka. This, of course, uses suction. Can be a little painful if you don't put it on right. But it's good at catching like the leaking milk, like while he's feeding on one. The other boob is leaking. So it's good at catching that. It's also good at sort of drawing milk out. It's almost like you give it one good squeeze and it's just like you're not well, maybe you don't know, but the milk basically it's just like a continuous flow until there's nothing else to come out. You might need to kind of loosen it up and then squeeze it again to get more milk to come out. I could get when I was using the haka, I could get up to 3 ounces of milk off a boob with just this. This is actually a 5 ounce haka, so this is really good and it's quiet. It doesn't make noise. No, actually, well, my boobs aren't that big, so Okay, manipulative extremist. Um, hopefully, hopefully I won't have to travel at all. Oh no, this isn't working. Hang on a second. Okay. Annoying. Let's see. Does Jaden like the cats? He could care less about the cats, to be honest. He looks at them and he could care less. Deidre. Am I going to travel less? Hopefully. I'm hoping I won't have to travel for the first 6 months being back to work because I want him to be a year before I have to travel. I don't know how well that's going to work out. I'm going to try. But that's the one thing I haven't really worked out. What am I going to do with him if I have to travel for work? I feel like it'll come together. Like I travel for work, but I don't travel that often. So I don't know. I might be able to work something out with my niece or something like that. So yeah, I didn't have to trade out the flanges. I'm not big busted, so I you know, itty bitty titty committee over here. President. Not only a member, but I'm also the president of the itty bitty titty committee. All right, let's see. Time out. I don't know. These people. Spectra loved it. I got the Willow now. Hate it. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, the Haka. Haka was very good. I got this as a gift off my registry. I forget exactly who gave it to me, but thank you again. Thank you, thank you. All right, so the Spectra S. See, this is it. Very small. And then you have all the other stuff is in the kitchen, but basically it's got the no backflow business going on here. And right now it's just set up for one because I would feed and pump. Let me see. Here, I got the manual here so you can see the other parts to it. Okay, so I didn't have to get new flanges. Those flanges worked just well for me. Here's my hands-free bra that I would use with it. And that worked out great. This I've been looking when I was looking into breast pumps, Spectra was high on my list. And I was looking at, I believe, the Spectra 2, the blue one. Yeah, I think the blue one, because the blue one and the pink one, they look exactly the same. I think the difference is the blue one has a battery in it, so you can detach it from the AC adapter and walk around with it. But it's heavy. It's almost like walking around with like a kettlebell. So or like maybe like a 2 or 3 pound kettlebell. So this is the 9S. It's a little bit more expensive. It's a little less powerful, but not that much less. So the other Spectras, I think, have 15 levels of suction. I think this has 12 levels of suction. So I was like, I didn't even get to 5 on this. So I don't need 15 and I don't need 12, let alone 15. So I did really good with this one. Plus, I said if I was traveling and still needed to pump, like even if I was traveling for my own leisure, this is a lot easier to pack than the other Spectras. So because of the power, I was not really looking into this, but I was having a discussion with Dee Dee. I think I was having a discussion with Dee Dee, and she told me she was getting the 9S. And so that made me look into it a little bit more. And so I sided with the 9S. Uh-oh, I turned it on. But what I like about the Spectra is, here, I'm going to turn it on. So right now it's on expression, if you can kind of hear it. But it has this massage button, which is basically, I'll put it on massage. You see, it's a lot faster of a suction. So this is to mimic the suction of the baby when he first latches to encourage your letdown. So what I would do is put this on massage until the milk has let down, especially if he was not already feeding, because if he was feeding already, then he would cause the letdown. But I would put this on massage until the letdown happened, and then you hit the button again, and it goes into expression, so you get the long sucks to get the milk, to draw the milk out. So that's what I liked about the Spectra. I didn't see that on a lot of the other models, to encouraging the letdown with the suction there. And what I've also done, like in trying to establish a supply that's frozen and even establish my own supply, sometimes I would pump, and then I would do the massage, let the letdown happen, pump until nothing was coming out. And then if it was under 15 minutes, I would put it back on massage to encourage a second letdown. And when the second letdown come, put that back on expression, and then let that kind of take it out. And that would, one, encourage supply, and two, help with getting more milk. So that's the benefit of having that little massage button. I don't know of any other, I personally don't know of any other pumps that has a feature like that. If you do, please feel free to speak up. I just don't happen to know any other. I know the Medela is really popular. I know that's the one they like to use in the hospitals. A lot of people say they really like their Medela pumps. But I was on all kinds of like boards and forums and blog posts about what moms think were the best pumps. And Spectra kept coming up on top. So that's where I was with it. All right. Let's see. And chart, the flanges on the 9S are exactly the same as they are on the other ones. So it's no different as far as that goes. How many levels of suction would we need? I don't know, but it's kind of like you, I don't know. I guess it's whatever your level of comfort is. Anyway, trusted flagger, nobody's paying for my child but me. And for that, I say thank you and good night. All right. Anyway, people are rude. Anyway, so it's your level of comfort, right? A stronger suction, I guess. I don't know. What level is the baby sucking at? I don't know. But I don't, it's weird. It's really weird, but I never really had to go past maybe 5 or 6 before. Like at 5 or 6, I'm slightly uncomfortable at 5 or 6. So we have others. I know, DJ. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know what? Who put all those levels in there? Probably some man. Okay, some man who ain't never breastfed, ain't never going to breastfeed, would never put a flange up to his nipple in his life. Put all them levels on there, thinking somebody would need that. I certainly don't need it. The 9S is working for me just fine, and my insurance paid. My insurance paid for it, so that's a Spectra 9S. Natural nursing technology, portable and rechargeable. Right, some man, I'm sure. Just like they said, a man invented high heels. Although I don't mind putting on my stilts. All the things that hurt, like a man invented the bra, a man invented high heels. I'm telling you, all the stuff that's the most uncomfortable on us women, but we do it. We do it for fashion, right? Beauty is pain, they say. Beauty is pain. But yeah, so I think that's it. That's it. I'm gonna do another video on somebody had asked for a video, more gears in every car ever. I know. What do I enjoy most about being a mom? I want to say my favorite thing is probably when I feel like life is attacking me. I look down at my baby and he's smiling. And I got some videos that are coming up. You're welcome, Shar. I got some videos that are coming up where life got really hard at the end of December coming into January. and tears, mostly about my car. But you know, it's just a lot was going on at one time. And you know, my postpartum cycle started, the crap was going on with the car. I'm just frustrated. I'm worried about money and whether I'm going to have to go back to work early. That's the last thing I wanted to do, as much as I fought to be off for as long as I am. Just a lot of things happening at once, a lot of emotion, a lot of crazy hormones floating around. And in the darkness of all those clouds, oh boy, when in the darkness of all, I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna stop acknowledging the ignorance. But in the darkness of all those clouds, the bright light is my baby and his smile. Because when I feel like I can't take anymore and I'm just ready to just give up, I look down at him and he's smiling like everything's all right. What's wrong, mom? And it's just like, how can you just not smile when you're looking at a smiling baby? So that's probably my favorite thing about being a mom so far. Uh, I don't know. I felt like a mom for a long time, and I know that I think folks don't have anything else better to do. I mean, apparently taxpayers are paying for my baby, and I'm on welfare, but they seem to have time to be on the live at 2:43 in the afternoon in the middle of a week, like they don't have no job. Now you tell me who's on welfare. I mean, um, sure, this Boppy for one. Didn't work at all. I barely used it. I tried to use it. See, I have a short torso and small boobies. Okay, so like I, even though I'm breastfeeding, I can still wear my other bras. I'm a lot more full. I'm just not bigger. Um, so this boppy here, one, I'm a big girl. They don't make this for big girls. Okay, this little thing's supposed to go around my waist. All right. So one, I'm putting it on me and I'm turning it into a W. Okay, trying to put it around me so it doesn't even get around me good. That's number one, because I'm a big girl. Two, I have a short torso, so the pillow is like right here up under my boobs, which is too high. Let me move this down a little bit. This is like right here up under my boobs. Okay, this is the boppy right here. And it's too high for the baby to be up here, so that's uncomfortable, you know. So like the boppy just didn't, it just, yes girl, it was like, listen, a W. Like the Wu-Tang W. Okay, it was doing this. I'm telling you. But it just, I don't know, people swear by this thing. I spent my money on it, even bought extra covers and everything. And I just, it just didn't work. Didn't work. What is working for now is being a support for baby G. So I can put this down on the couch and I can sit him in it, and he's got some back support because he's at the point where he can't sit up himself, and he can't, he tries to sit up but he can't get all the way up. He can't hold himself up. He doesn't have that stabilization yet. So I can put him in. You know, we're using it for that. Maybe we'll get to use it for some tummy time. Maybe as he gets a little older, we'll find some other uses for it. But as a breastfeeding pillow, didn't work for me. No, didn't work for me. His favorite toy. He doesn't really have a whole lot of toys. He has this rattle here that I got from Target. Just because I wanted him to work on grabbing things with his hand and shaking it around and stuff. So he has this one toy. He grabs a lot at his Webber. He's got a few of these. He's got a teether right now since he's teething. He kind of sort of can't really grab that just yet. I mean, he can grab it and move it, but the coordination with his mouth is not really there yet. So for the most part, something like this is working out good for him. He's also got this other little teether thing I got as a gift. It's a little plush toy, but his hands and his feet are like little teething discs. So that's in the bedroom right now. I'm not going to go get that. But it says Love Moo on it. So you'll see it in pictures. And if I haven't already shown it in a video when I open the gift, you'll know that. But this is probably his favorite toy. Okay, Sharon. Yeah. So other than that, I bought him, since he likes to sit up now, I did buy him like a little Fisher Price activity table. It's still a little too big for him. So right now it's just sitting there waiting for him to get big enough to sit in it. Hi, Ninja. Hi, kitty. Yeah. So, but other than that, I don't know. Maybe my baby's bored. Maybe I should buy more toys for him. I don't know. I feel like kids play with stuff for 15 minutes and then jump to the next thing. So it was never my intention to like crowd my home with a bunch of kid toys, that they only play with for like a few minutes and then forget all about. Oh boy. I tell you, I can't. I wish I could like allow people to come into the chat. You know what I mean? That's what I wish I could do. These people are crazy. And I don't know. I feel like I'm getting the chats a little late as well. But maybe I'm not getting them that late. I think I caught that last one. Again, people with nothing else better to do. Nothing else better to do. To play with the box. Exactly. Exactly. I think I had some Jolly Ranchers. I was holding him and I had the Jolly Rancher wrappers. He was so mystified by the noise of the Jolly Rancher wrapper. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I don't know. You know how the cats, they play with the little rip tie off the milk, and you buy a bunch of toys. So I just my home is, I guess it's big to some people. It's really not that big. I have a lot of stuff. And so and I'm sort of a clutter bot myself. Can you imagine if I made my baby a clutter bot too? We'd be drowning in here. Absolutely drowning. We're drowning already. Okay. This is the best place I have to put these pillows. Okay. So I'm trying my best to not crowd things with toys, with clothes. He doesn't have that many clothes either. We don't go anywhere. He barely gets dressed. And I don't want to dress him for the sake of dressing him because he throws up on everything. So it's like, why bother to get dressed? I don't get dressed. He shouldn't get dressed. When are the videos coming out? As soon as I can edit them and push them out. I'm trying not to push them out like one a day because they're long. And so I don't think people are going to watch a 30-minute video and then the next day watch another 30-minute video. So I try to, when I get them together, I try to put them out like maybe 2 days apart, something like that. Yeah, you know what? I hate washing clothes. I wash clothes at least once a week now, and it's all his stuff. It's all his stuff. These burp cloths. I have 5 of them. I just went and bought 5 more, because he's throwing up more, and they get messy and all of that, and they have to hang dry. It's just, it's a mess. I tell you, I'm a lurker. I know. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you. But it's just it takes a long time to edit the videos, and I knew I was gonna have trouble getting content out once the baby got here. And my intention was to do a live, but I didn't intend to be so behind in the regular videos. I was doing good right after birth, and then it all just fell apart. I had to realize that I need to pace myself. I have to get sleep, if I'm going to be able to be lucid enough to manage this baby, So I just, I get the videos out when I can. I think I have at least one more that's already edited and I haven't published it yet. All these things take time. The upload time it takes to publish, the actual editing, and then after I'm done editing, it takes like another hour, hour and a half to process it to get it into the video for me to upload, which then takes another hour, hour and a half to upload to YouTube. So a whole lot goes into putting these videos out here. It's not that I don't love you all. It's not that I don't want to get these videos out to you. It takes up a lot of time. And the problem is I don't have the long stretches of time in the day anymore, because when he wakes up and he wants attention, he wants attention, and I have to stop what I'm doing. So it's just really time consuming. So I've been trying to come in here and do these lives so you all don't think I abandoned you at all. And the reason for me doing the live today is because, you know, Gator NMP asked me for this information, and we couldn't manage the time for me to just talk to her directly, and I didn't want her to wait for the information. So I wanted to get this live out here to get her that information so she can prepare for herself. What's not laundry going? The dog wants to be walked. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on, and I mean, I multitask for a living. So I'm, and I also want my me time too. And I got all my shows going on in the DVR, and it's a third job trying to keep the DVR clean enough to not lose stuff from it getting full, right? So I'm trying to watch the stuff in the DVR and stay up on my shows without losing too much sleep. Because usually I would work all day, lose sleep watching my shows in the DVR. I can't do that anymore because, I don't know. I guess I have to cut my TV time or something. Figure it out. Cut how many shows that I'm watching. Really start to prioritize because what's wrong, baby G? You took that short nap. Yeah, you took that short nap. Mentally cold. Let's keep it respectful, or I'm gonna have to bounce you. I'm gonna have to bounce you. I need you to keep it respectful. Um. Uh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I know. I understand why some people drop away from YouTube, like especially watching a lot of women go through this journey, and then them finally getting the babies, and then all of a sudden the posts become few and far between. I think a lot of that has to do with content. It's hard to come up with content to continue to talk about. For me, it's like, you know I'm just trying to walk you through the stages. I'm not done having babies. I got a whole nother journey to go through next year. But to keep you entertained between now and next year, what do I have? Maybe his pediatric appointment updates. um that's about it. It'll be like quick little short things, unless somebody asks me for something specific, maybe a day in the life here or there once I get back to work, because I can say I kind of have a routine now, but I don't. I won't really have a routine until I get back to work. Yes. Yes. What's wrong, baby? What's wrong? He said, I want attention. I want attention now. Um, Mentally cold. I need you to keep it respectful for everybody. Let's everybody remain respectful. Everybody, not just mentally cold. Let's everybody remain respectful. Um, it's okay, Shar. It's okay. We'll give him one more chance. One more chance. Like, let's everybody keep it respectful, and and it'll all be cool. Okay. Nobody needs to batter anybody. There's no need for any of it. No need. No need. Content could be monthly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't have a problem with coming in with something every now and again. Like I said, I'm not trying to be YouTube famous, so how many views, how many subscribers, that's not of importance to me. I appreciate subscribers I have. I don't want you to think I don't appreciate you, but it's not of importance. I'm just sharing my experience in the hope that, well, one, as sort of a personal journal for me, but two, since I do have a community of people who do watch my content, in the hopes that I'm helping somebody, you know. So I just don't want anybody to ever feel like abandoned, but it is a lot of work to maintain YouTube. So for those who don't make content, don't do all the editing and all that kind of stuff, I need you to understand it is really time consuming, and time is a luxury at this point with such a young baby. So be patient with me, bear with me. I'm trying to get the content out. I know I'm like 2 months behind now. I knew I was going to stay the 2 weeks behind, but I didn't intend to get like 2 months behind. I think so much went on in December that just life just got really crazy. And I just need to catch up from that. And then hopefully soon I have some videos that I need to do. I got a video coming out soon about let's see. Old tree fella. Yeah. Girl, I'm telling you, it ain't my life if it ain't interesting. I'm telling you that. There's always something going on, and I got some kind of weird attraction to drama. Seriously. Thank you, Mrs. Living in Hope. um, yes, thank you, Miss Anonymous. Thank you. I love being here. It's just I just got to come in and talk to y'all on the lives because there's no editing with the lives, right? I just got to pop in. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Say hi and, go ahead on. But I do have a video coming up. I had a company called Lilova reach out to me. That's these guys here, period proof underwear. Since my postpartum cycles have started, I have given this the good old college try. And I will be doing a video on my review of them. That is sponsored because they sent me this. They are waiting patiently for me to give them my review. So, thank you, Deidre. Thank you. And child, I got a lot to say. But yeah, so that's coming. It's sponsored, yeah. And I can, if you in there. Okay, mentally cold. I just want people who are genuinely interested in my content. So I like the natural progression of things. Okay, appreciate it. Uh, yeah, I'll get into that, Char. Plus size. Yep, I'll get into that in that video. I have another video that's coming up. I mentioned it, I think, in the last video I posted about working on a will and all of that. So I have another video that I already filmed. I still have to edit that. So yes, Miss Anonymous, my first postpartum cycle showed up exactly 11 weeks. Exactly 11 weeks from giving birth. No, it's not only plus sized. It's regular up to 3X. So their largest size was 3X. But again, like I said, we'll talk. We'll save that for the other video that I have to do as part of my obligation to them since they sent this to me. So oh yes. So I have a play dad of mine. His name is Jim. I've known him for many years, long before I even moved down here to Florida, and I've been in Florida over 14 years. So I met him through work, and he's like a father figure, although my father was in my life, but he passed away the year after I graduated college. So I think I may have met this man after my father passed away, but or maybe right before, something like that. But yeah, so he has a like a prepaid legal business, and since the legal part of it can help you with the wills, that's all part of the service. He called me to make sure that I was covered and that I can get my ducks in a row now that I have a dependent and I have assets like my house. I have, my retirement. If something happened to me, what would happen to that stuff? What would happen to my baby? So I love him and appreciate him for calling to make sure that I can be good and squared away in that manner. He didn't know if I already had a will or not, but if I had one, if I needed to revise it, and I could get that done relatively inexpensively, that's what he was trying to help me out with. So what I want to do is give a video on that topic. Like I said, I've already filmed it. I just have to edit it and get it posted for you guys. I alluded to it in the last video that I posted. Okay, baby. Okay. So, there's a whole video. I get emotional and everything talking about it, but it's an important topic, and I don't think I've seen anyone talk about that aspect of becoming a parent in general, not just a mom, not just a single mom, but just becoming a parent in general. Um, yeah, yeah. So it's a lot of those sort of hard questions that you don't want to think about, especially bringing a baby in, but it's really something you should consider. Oh, here we go. I lost my connection for a little bit. It's really something that should have been considered and taken care of prior to giving birth, just in case something happened to me in delivery. So it's an important topic, and I definitely want to do that. And it's kind of a bit of a plug for him as well. In case anybody is interested in that, you can all talk to him more. But there's a whole lot in there because I actually have a service that's offered through my job, some prepaid legal as well. So there's a bit in the comparisons between my job's prepaid legal and his version of prepaid legal. But if you don't have something, and might be something that you want to look into, and it's relatively inexpensive to have the services, and it's not just for wills; it's for other things as well. So um I don't know what you're talking about there, mentally cold, as far as resting for 40 plus days after giving birth. Again, let's keep it respectful. I really don't want to have to block you. I'm trying to be nice here, but I need you to keep it respectful. I don't know about 40 plus days. Nobody can rest 40 plus days with a new baby. All right, hold on. Let me grab him since he's being fussy. Come here. Come here, baby. come, come here. Come here. You so funny. Okay. All right. Who's up from his short nap? Hi, Val. Um, it is. Oh, is it? Okay. I don't know. How do you rest with a new baby? Oh, okay. That ain't nothing I can do. I ain't got no family to help here. Say hi, baby. No, you're not interested. You're disinterested. I don't know. He ain't interested in being on camera, apparently. They looky. Giving birth isn't like popping a pimple. You're sacred and damaged for life. Oh, you're scared and scarred and damaged for life. Well, I guess that's true. Your body goes through a whole lot. That's very, very true. Some of us don't. I guess it's a cultural thing. What's your culture, mentally cold? What culture is that? Where they rest for 40 days plus. Thank you for participating in a respectful way. Yes. Okay, baby. Where are you going? He's busy. Always busy. Indigenous Jews. Oh, okay. I don't know. What country? If you can help. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot. I don't know about lazy Jews. I'm just saying what country, because I don't know enough about that culture. But I do know there are a lot of cultures that um random question, have you spoken with the ex best friend? No. Uh-uh. Shar, were you on the last live that I did where I went through that whole situation, or have you watched it? No. She's not reached out. She's not. Nope. Nothing. Israel, Jerusalem. Okay. All right. We'll learn something new every day. I didn't know. Um, I guess it's a cultural thing. I never heard of it. Yeah. So, yeah, she still hasn't liked or commented on anything social media. She hasn't reached out to me, no text messages, no phone calls, no acknowledgement of baby G in any shape or form. Interestingly enough, her fiance, his best friend, her sister, they've all liked and commented, liked and or commented on things in social media. It's just she isn't. So again, like I said, I don't, I don't know what her deal is. It's unfortunate that things have occurred the way that they have, but I have to move on. So we're keeping it moving. We're still friends on Facebook and follow each other on Instagram. You know, God don't like ugly. She's bitter over something. You're better off for it. You know, uh, we've had a break in our friendship before. I didn't know what that was about. I think that was more about us just maybe growing apart because when we were in college, she didn't go to school in Philadelphia. I went to school in Philly. When she would come home, well, I want to say before college, we would kind of go out, teenager kind of go out club kind of things. Like when you're a young teenager, like when you're 16, the club is like the roller skating rink. So we would go to the roller skating rink like every other Saturday or whatever. Like I was 16 years old hanging out at the roller skating rink on the other side of town, coming home at like midnight. But I mean, I also had a job at 16 too. So, um, okay, that's it, mentally cold. You're done. Anyway, I say it one more time. That's it. Okay, so anyway, we would go to this skating rink, and we were doing that. I went to middle school on the west side of Philadelphia. That's where she lived, on the west side of Philadelphia. So we would hang out at a skating rink on the west side of Philadelphia. So it would take me a while to get home because the rink was closed, I think, at like 12. And is it a Philly thing? No, you got places like Atlanta. They have roller skating rinks. Um, but I love roller skating as a kid. I never really learned as a child. After I moved here to Florida, I started taking lessons and really kind of learned how to roller skate. So I'm a lot more comfortable on skates now than I ever was as a kid. But it is what it is. But like when you're young, and then we had like what do you call it, like teenager clubs. So like nightclubs that closed early, didn't sell alcohol. So we had this club called Dances in Philly that we would go to a lot. Used to do it all the time. Me and my cousin. Yeah, roller skating is it's cool. That's the thing you can enjoy as an adult. Like that's something you can bring from the childhood into adulthood. And that's one thing I want to do for him because the roller skating rink here is literally like 5 minutes away from where I live, and that's where I took my lessons. So they do lessons on Saturday mornings. So as soon as he's able to walk, I want to say probably not as soon as he's able to walk, but like maybe around 5 years old, I'll start taking him to do roller skate lessons, and we can start doing that on Saturdays, or maybe go to family night on Wednesday nights when it's like cheap to go. And then, we can roller skate together because that's something mommy still does. So him and hopefully my next baby. But I don't know. I'm holding out hope, hopefully. So, I'm still trying to come up with things for us to do so that like when I get back into work, we have like something to do routinely so that I'm spending time, quality time with him. I don't want to get lost in the work because I get that honest from my dad. My dad was a workhorse. I am a workhorse. You look at workaholic in a dictionary, you're gonna see my face. So I don't want to kind of fall back onto that and start like not neglecting him in that way. So I want to come up with something routine that we can do and spend all that quality time. For 4 years, it was so Philly every birthday, even as adults, we going to the ring. Yes, yes, it's nothing like having the '80s old school roller skate party. You put your side ponytail on, you get the little ballies going, you put the little psychedelic makeup on. That's so much fun. When I used to live in Pittsburgh, they started to close down because people started shooting up the roller rink. Oh my gosh. People shoot everywhere. I mean, they stabbing people at the Popeyes. I mean, come on. It ain't safe to be nowhere public. Yes. I love a good roller skating party. Oh, baby G, you got a full diaper here. Well, I got everything handy but the wipes. Hold on. Let me grab some wipes and we'll change the diaper since I got the caddy here. I don't have wipes in the caddy because the wipe warmer's on my dresser. Hold on a second. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Let's see. People don't play over chicken. No, they were trying to say it was over that doggone chicken sandwich, but it wasn't. I think that those guys had some beef because they jumped out of line to go fight outside. Groupon for activities. There's always some family-friendly options. Yeah. Oh, I know all about Groupon, girl. Would you recommend your area for a single mom? I mean, it's Orlando. You know. Also, I will say this. I was watching another video. I can't remember who I was watching, but she mentioned this app called Peanut, as in like Planters Peanuts. It's called Peanut, and then she she described it as like I almost said Twitter. Doggone it. Why can I not think of that dating app? Anyway, what's that dating app that you swipe left, swipe right? The very first one that came out. I can't think of the name of it, but she said it's like Tinder. Thank you. I was thinking Twitter was in my mommy brain, y'all. I was thinking Twitter, but I was close to it. Tinder, yes. She described it as like a Tinder, but for moms. So not like as a dating site, but to meet other moms in your area. So I downloaded that. Okay, baby G. You think you're trying to eat? Mommy trying to change your diaper. It's not time to eat right now. Calm down, baby. Calm down, baby. Calm down. Hey. I swear. You get poopy on me, it's going to be a whole bunch of trouble. All right. Okay. You think it's time to eat? It's not time to eat, baby. It's not time to eat. Come on. Okay. Look. Come, sit up for a little bit while I work this out. Okay, baby G. See, y'all think he's such a good baby. He is stubborn as I don't know what. So stubborn. All right, come on. Let me work this. Look, you're getting... Oh, my God. Come here. Listen. Oh, my God. You're getting poopy everywhere. everywhere. This little boy, stop it. Baby Jig. Slow down, baby. Yo, I'm not even phased. He just buzzing away. I'm sorry for the screaming because he right up here next to the camera. Yes, yes, yes. I know. Just don't pee on me, okay? Yes, it's horrible. It's horrible, I know. But you keep that diaper off. You put your foot all in the poopy. Y'all, it's a mommy kind of day. You put his foot all in the poopy. All in it. He is. Calm down, baby. Calm down. Okay. Yeah, you think it's time to eat, but it's not time to eat. Okay, let me just make sure you didn't get poopy anywhere else. Okay. Okay. You good? He's such a thinker. Listen. It's okay, baby. That was, you were so uncomfortable. You were so uncomfortable. Yeah. Okay, don't wash your hands. I'm trying to wrap this up. Sorry, hold on. This is the stuff moms be embarrassed about when they in public places. Not me. Cry away. They ain't got to live with this baby. I do. Yes. Yes. Hey. 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 He might be hungry, but I swear it hasn't been. Hold on. All right. Sorry. I'm back. I didn't mean to cut off. I wasn't sure if it would cut me off or not. Shh. All right. So I'm just going to lift it up. It's been about 2.5 hours since he ate. So I'm just going to feed him real quick. He already falling out. You should see him. He like falls backwards like this. He falls out already. Look at that angry baby face. Look at that angry baby face. But you notice, no tears. No tears. That's just yelling. No tears. Okay, baby. Okay, baby. Hey. Okay. Oh boy. Come here. You so spoiled. All right, I'm trying to get him to go 3 hours in between eating. 2.5 is long enough. But he did nap a little bit earlier. Okay. All right. Okay. That's just a crying, angry baby. He just an angry baby. He kicks. I'm telling you, he will kick out of your arms. Strong little baby here. Okay. Whew. Where were we? I'm sorry. Oh yeah, the peanut app. Okay. Why what? Miss Anonymous. Yes. Yes. Like tell him, Char. Tell him. TT Char said Life is not that hard at 4 months. Chillax. You got a whole lot of hard life to go. Oh, the app. Okay, so the app is basically to find other moms in your neighborhood to like hang out with. So they have women on there who are pregnant, women on there who have kids, ranging in all different ages, women on there who are TTCing. Oh, why eat 3 hours? Because I want him. See, he's been trying to eat like every hour and a half, but he's not really hungry at the hour and a half. He's really just sleepy, but he angles. He angles for the boob. I lost my light, but that's okay. Um, he angles for the boob at an hour and a half. So I can't get anything done. And at his age, he should be eating somewhere close to 2.5 to 3 hours. Every 2.5 to 3 hours. So every hour and a half or 2 hours, that's not long enough. So I want him to eat more, feed less. Yeah. He's been trying to do that since birth. I don't nope. And he doesn't really care for a regular pacifier anymore. We'll go all day without the pacifier. I use the pacifier to try to soothe him to sleep when he gets fussy. That's all the pacifier is used for at this point. He doesn't care for it any other time. If he's super fussy, I'll put him on the boob. But yeah, I wear him. I have a carrier. Oh, it's in the other room. It's not out here. I've got a baby Catan. I haven't had to. I've had to wear. I've had to wear him twice, maybe 3 times around the house. Um, on those particular days where I'm really trying to get stuff done, I haven't figured out how to like feed him while in the carrier yet. So I don't know how that even works with the carrier that I have. Maybe it can. I can position him a little differently. But you know, I know I haven't figured that out. I haven't figured that out, Miss Anonymous. I haven't figured it out yet. That's something I'll have to put into practice. But at the times where I've had to carry him, I ain't had time to work that out. So, and he wasn't really hungry. I had fed him already. He just wanted to be carried, like probably going through a leap or something like that. He is in the middle of a leap right now, so that makes him extra fussy. Um, how I know he's going through a leap, I have this other app that my doula suggested called the Wonder Years, and it kind of spells out where the baby is and their mental development as far as their leaps go. So he is in the middle of leap 4, which is one of the longer leaps. I think it goes for a few weeks. So he's in the middle of that, so he can be a little fussy. Um, but yeah. Uh, so that's where we are. So as far as peanut is good. I found that swiping doesn't really get me matched with women as easy as posting or responding to posts that other women put up. You get noticed a lot more with that. And I've made a couple of connections. One with a girl who has PCOS and is TTCN, so I was trying to help her with her journey because she um, is kind of scared to use a fertility specialist. Definitely scared to go through IVF. She doesn't want to do that. She thinks she needs to go through IVF, but she's kind of scared. She doesn't want to. So I was at least trying to help her with trying to track her cycles better, even though they're going to be longer because she has PCOS. I found another woman recently who I think she's got a young child where she's pregnant. I think she's pregnant right now. And then I recently connected with another woman, and she's got 2 kids. Her youngest is 6 months. So, and they all live in the area. These women just living their lives, baby wearing and nursing. I'm so lost. I know. I saw this woman in the Walmart walking around. Her baby was a lot older though. And her baby was in the carrier and nursing. But I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. So, and he's such a busybody. So him in the carrier now facing me is too much for him. He wants to be looking around. So he likes that explorer view better. but he's in the way when he's in the Explorer view. So that kind of doesn't work for me either, depending on what I'm trying to do. So, Explorer view doesn't work very well when I'm trying to get a cat a needle. You know what I mean? So some stuff, he just has to cry through until I can get to him. He's not in any imminent danger. I just figure it's exercise for his lungs because he doesn't cry that much. So, but he usually works up to the big, big, big cry. You guys haven't seen his big, big cry where his whole body turns red and he's just shaking. He's so angry. He works himself up to that. But as you can see, he did all that whining. He didn't have a single tear. So that ain't him crying. That's him fussing at me. And sometimes I have to remind him who the queen bee is. He thinks he's running the place. No, sir. No, sir. But yeah. So that peanut app, for me, it's like I don't have, like, I know people who have kids, but they don't have kids this small. I have one friend, her daughter just turned one. So they're kind of in like different stages because her daughter can crawl. She's almost walking. He can't even crawl yet. So it's like they can't even really play together. So I kind of want to find some moms with kids in the kind of same stage he is. And then, I don't mind the moms who have kids who are a little bit older as well. So I'm trying my best. Still trying to build my mom tribe here. I'm in the beginning stages and probably very uh boring, but couldn't hurt. Yeah, I mean, there's a TTC element to the app. So there's a whole like a group because they have like groups that you can join within the app. So there's one for like different areas where you live in. There's a all around TTC one. There's an all around pregnancy one. I think pardon me, there's a group. I think you can create your own groups for people to join in the app as well. I haven't really fully explored everything you can do in the app because I was just really trying to find connections with people. So far, so good. I found a couple. It's also a little intimidating because a lot of the women on the app are married or have partners. I have not really found a lot of solo moms, as they call them. I think the one girl who's pregnant, she's not a single mom by choice. Just the baby father's not around anymore. So she's currently pregnant now. But hopefully, you know, we can bond as single moms. There's nothing against women who have partners or husbands, but a lot of those women on the app who have husbands, they're stay-at-home moms, which is also not my circumstance. So it's kind of like when the moms are stay-at-home moms, they tend to want to do stuff during the day, during the week, when I'm normally going to be at work. Like, that's cool now that I'm on leave, but once I get back to work, I'm not going to be able to hang out with you that way. So it's kind of like, do I start this kind of friendship? Because I'm really going to be like a evening weekend kind of mom hangout person. But these women are on here like, oh, I'm about to make a Target run, who wants to come with me? So little stuff like that, I guess. Any way you can find to meet other moms, so you have some people calling me. So it's good. Just check it out. You don't even have to upload a picture right away if you don't want to. If you just want to lurk around and check it out a bit, it's pretty cool. I don't mind it. It's probably one of the better social apps that I have on my phone. Ain't no other app helping me find people in this area. You know what I'm saying? To hang out with. So that's cool. Let me see. Did I miss any other? Um, Angry baby foot. Yeah. But I mean, it's like I said, Miss Anonymous, it's Orlando. So as far as like being a mom, I mean, you got Disney, you got Universal. Like once the kids get a little older, There are baby gyms as well. There are quite a few here. Baby gym here told me they like the babies to be 6 months and up. There's another gym that I ran into at one of the baby shows. She said 0 and up. So, you know, it is what it is. I have passes. That's why going to the baby gyms are actually pretty cool because, I mean, the baby gyms to the baby shows are actually pretty cool because you kind of run into these things that are in the area and that I didn't know about. Like a lot of these baby gyms I hadn't even heard of, and they hand out free passes to come check them out. So I've got free passes. I'm just waiting for him to really be old enough to really truly participate. And I recently went to a play date at this, I guess you would call it a baby gym. It's called Lucky Monkeys. I don't know if they're a chain or if it was just one place. It's in Altamont Springs here. And that was cool. Only he's not old enough to play with anything there. He doesn't sit up on his own. He doesn't crawl. So it's kind of hard to pay to be somewhere like that. And he can't enjoy any of what they have, you know. But it's a cool place. Something to consider once he's like older. Like I don't mind going if it's like somebody else's party or if somebody else invited me to come as their guest who gets in for free or something like that. But I mean, I had to hold him the whole time, and I'm basically just standing around with the other moms with my baby, watching the other kids play. So, but it was cool. I enjoyed the adult interaction from that. But I just, wish he was a little old enough to get around and sort of play with things. So he'll get there. I'm not rushing him. Not rushing him at all. He'll probably be crawling soon the way he kicks his feet. He scoots now. He scoots on his belly, mostly backwards, but he definitely scoots. Interestingly enough, I am receiving a call on my home phone from my home phone. Isn't that interesting? That definitely means I shouldn't answer it, right? I'm telling you, it's crazy. The call ID literally has my last name, my first initial, and my phone number on it. And I'm talking to y'all, so I ain't calling myself. Anyway, I digress. Craziness. Um, but yeah, I wish I could see who all was on here. I guess I can't. I can only see that there's 10 people, 9 people now in the live. Maybe mostly lurkers. Lurkers or other people waiting for something interesting to say. I don't know. Or waiting for me to say something more interesting. But yeah, I'm trying my best here. I don't I I don't I'm not having a hard time being home all the time because I'm home all the time anyway. Look at you smile in your sleep. Look at you smile. That must be a good dream. He's almost laughing. That must be a good dream, huh, baby G? Yeah, that must be a good dream. Yeah. No, that mommy's baby. Yeah. But yeah, I figured I'd have more of a social life once he was born. Do I plan to date anytime soon? Um, Good question. So I got bored enough to jump back onto the date sites, and I met a guy, and we talked on the phone a few times. But then he kept asking me when we could go out. Then he's well aware that I got a new baby because the baby was here and he started crying. He asked me, he said, "Oh, am I waking your baby?" And I said, "No, you're not waking him. It's just time for him to wake up." And so he said, "Well, how old is he?" And I said, "Well, he's 8 weeks." Well, that's how long ago it was. And he says, "Oh, he's fresh out." I said, "Yeah." He didn't seem to hi Adakon. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. I missed the dating Y2CC stories. I haven't been dating, so I don't have any more. But but this guy, I don't know. He seemed nice. I didn't mind talking to him. But the more I talked to him, it was more about him that was just rubbing me the wrong way. Not that he's a bad guy. It's just the way he talked, his vernacular, to use my big words. Um, I don't know. It's like it offended me quite a bit. So I wasn't feeling it, and I'm not in the business of changing people. I would never want him to be anything other than his true authentic self. It's just that that wasn't working for me, and I think he started to realize that wasn't working for me, and he was like, "Oh, I got to be politically correct around you, huh?" And I said, "No, you don't have to be anything but yourself." No, no, he wasn't in jail. Like my prison baby. No, he wasn't in jail, but it's just I don't know. I was just like I wasn't feeling it, and he was a nice guy. He was very respectful. I enjoyed this conversation. Just that vernacular was just was putting me off. And he kept asking, "When can we go out? When can we go out?" And I started thinking, like, I don't think I really thought this through. Like, I'm not really ready to be calling in the babysitter to go on some date with maybe a dude that it might work with, or maybe it won't. Like, especially somebody I'm not really feeling like that. No, no, I don't really want to be paying for a babysitter or even just away from my baby for that kind of nonsense. I really just wanted somebody to talk to. I didn't really want to have to be going out with him. You know what I mean? But it's unfair. So I said, I don't think I really thought that. And because he did offer to like come over and make dinner. And I was like, oh, hell no, in my mind. But I said, no, I don't think we're ready for that, to him. So I'm like, that would mean you would meet my baby. I know he's young, but I don't know. I feel like I would feel more comfortable with like some single dad or somebody with a young kid. Or are you going to TTC the next one while dating? I don't know. Maybe I may not be. Um, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I need to be open to meeting somebody. Um, just in case I don't need to use a sperm donor next time around. But I feel like I am open. I think that particular guy, his vernacular just threw me off so much. And we'd only talked a few times, and I wasn't ready to put the energy in to go out with him. I think that's what it was. And me saying I didn't think it through, I think was me looking for an excuse to end it without hurting his feelings. Um, but I just jumped off the dating site altogether because I really didn't think it through. I really didn't. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think that maybe I'll have my second kid and then I'll meet somebody who maybe doesn't want any kids of his own, or already has kids and isn't looking to have any more, or something like that, and we just blend our families and go on about our business, being older and such. Or I don't know. I don't even know if it's in the cards for me to have. In the back of my mind, it's just like, what do I do if I don't get a viable embryo with that first retrieval? What do I do? If I don't get one, I got to at least get one. If I don't get one, what do I do then? Do I stop? Do I try again? It's a lot of money. And I already got a kid here. I don't know. All that stuff is just in the back of my mind. But if you have two and meet someone who wants kids, well, honey, I'm about to be 40 in 2 months. He got to be past that. If he already has kids, he got to be past that. We ain't got to have nothing together. And he got to understand it's not a simple thing. I probably wouldn't mind having another kid if I could get it done naturally. I tell him we could try naturally, but it most likely wouldn't happen. I don't know that I would want to put that much money in to having another kid when he already has kids and I already have kids. I don't know. I don't, I think at this age, I don't feel like having a baby would blend us anymore. You know what I mean? It'd probably be nice. I mean, here's the thing: if I was gonna have a baby with a man, he'd need to be my husband. And by the time he's my husband, I'm closer to 45. That's if I met him tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I'm closer to 45 by the time he's my husband. Kids kind of like we kind of gotta go on by that. You know, we'd have to discuss that long before getting married because I'm older and he's likely going to be older. No, I know. I know. Um. D mommy. She just had her baby, her own eggs, at 50. You know, so it happens. I know, but I never wanted to be 50 years old having a baby. I never wanted to do that. Only because I want my kids to grow up, turn 18, go out the house or go off to college, and mama can get back to her business. You know what I'm saying? So if I have a baby at 50, you know, I'm like 70. Where I'm twerking at 70. But yeah, see, baby G doesn't agree. It's okay, baby. It's okay. Yeah, yeah, she did it. You know, Janet Jackson had her baby. She was 52 when she had her baby. Now, I don't believe that was her egg, but she had her baby at 52. I'm not trying to be Janet. I'm not trying to be Janet. I understand people who do it at that age. I just and I applaud them for their bravery. It's just not something I ever wanted to do. And I shoot. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Too much milk, huh? Yeah, because you probably wasn't even all that hungry. Now you're throwing up on me. Yeah, it's okay, baby. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay, baby. I got throw up all over my shoulder here. Well, yeah, it's okay, baby. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You such a wiggler. You such a wiggler. Yeah. Mhm. But yeah, so I just I want to send the kids on and get back to my life. That's what I want to do. So I applaud those who do it. I just never wanted to do it myself. And if I didn't have any kids because I wanted to be a mom, that would probably be something I would consider had I not gone through this process as early as I did. But I even feel like I waited too long to start this process. I should have started this process when I was younger. Yes, and that's one thing. I talk a lot with Sandra because Sandra started her journey when she was 45, and she has older children as well. But that's one thing she told me is she said having a baby now was very different, than having a baby when she had her older kids. She's older, the energy level is not the same, and you tire easily, and the patience isn't the same. I, God has a reason for putting a time limit on a woman and when how long she can bear children. Yeah, Sandra. Yes, her sons do help a lot. They're there in the house, but but what if she has help? What if she didn't? I mean, would I want to do this at 50? Not by myself. No. In my current circumstance, I would no. No, I would not want to do this alone at 50. And having a husband doesn't guarantee he's going to be around or helpful for that matter. So he could come along and be like, yeah, baby, I want a baby. Okay, you realize I'm old? I can't, I got other ailments, um, the hypertension, the insulin resistance, being older puts me at risk. It's just never anything I wanted for myself. I mean, shoot, my life plan, I was going to be married, 2 kids, and retired by 35. Okay? That didn't happen. That didn't happen. Personal trainer, chef, nannies, yeah, all of that. Like, money help you get through a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's hard having a baby at any age. At any age, teenager, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. It's hard having a baby at any age. But you get older, one of the things is just set in your ways. Your routines have to change. You got to move different as a mom than you could individually. So that is something too. You know, you I don't know. I always thought about what I would do when my kids got old enough to be out of the house. I want to be old enough to still get out there dipping and do it, as Wendy Williams would say. You know what I'm saying? I still wanted to be young enough to go and travel the world the way I've been traveling prior to being a mom. So, and not saying you can't do stuff like that at 70. You can. I've met these women, while I was out there traveling. It's just I don't know what kind of shape my body gonna be in by 70. I'm hard on my body. Shoot, I got stuff that ache and hurt now. Yeah, college versus retirement. Do I now gotta work longer to put these kids through college? That all of that. Um, Baby 23, so I'm not trying to stretch this out for decades as a single mom. Exactly. At some point, you kind of, all right, I did the mom thing. Now it's time to get back to me. You know, that's where I want to be. Let's have the kids close together, you know, and get on. What you doing in here, buddy? So I just, if a man comes along, let's give him, I can't even say this year. You know what I mean? I can't even say this year. I gotta, you know, he got to be worth being stuck in my life for the rest of life. He got to be worth it. I don't want to be attached to somebody, you know, in that way for 18 years. Um, so I don't know. It's just nothing I ever wanted for myself. Nothing against the women who were doing it. It's just nothing I wanted for myself. And I wish I'd have started this process earlier. I should have started it when I was 30, you know. But again, maybe I wasn't even in the place to do it at 30. There were a lot of other life altering things to go on in my life between 30 and 37, in those 7 years. And there's a lot of things I would not have been able to do um, if I had children. For instance, if I had a baby when my sister became ill, I would not have been able to spend the time in New Jersey like I was spending. If I had a school age child, if I had a baby, I probably could have brought the baby up with me because the baby doesn't need to be in school anywhere. But I certainly wouldn't have been able to work like I was working while I was up there. I wouldn't have been able to stay up there that long. I wouldn't have been able to live for 5 weeks straight in the hospital the way we lived, sleeping in the chairs in the little family waiting area in the ICU. Certainly wouldn't have been able to do all of that. Part of me, if I had children and no partner, you know. And even if I had a partner, being up there, I was up there for almost a year. what kind of relationship would that have been with my partner for me living away from him like that with the kids? So I think a lot of things happen in life the way they're supposed to. Not all of them are good, but sometimes the bad things put you on the path. They sort of straighten your path in a way, you know. You feel like you've been derailed, but really that's the path you need to be on for the time being because something's coming that you can't see. And perhaps that's what happened in my case. I don't know. I think about these things all the time. And I can certainly travel with him. I do plan to travel with him. It's difficult. Somebody this young, I don't want to just be traveling to different countries. I don't want to do any international travel until he's at least 2. I need him to remember the experiences, not just look at them in pictures. But while he's this young, we can do domestic traveling. I've got friends and family all over the country that we can go visit. So, I'm not saying that I can't travel. It's more expensive because after a while, he's going to be an extra seat, you know? So, and, kids have short attention spans. They can't sit on 14-hour flights comfortably without agitation, like I can. And I wouldn't be able to sleep through the whole thing like I normally do. It's just things will be very, very, very different. But the plan is to travel the world with the kids. But, when that starts to happen will be later, definitely not at this age. Because there isn't a lot to do with a baby, his age, not walking and all of that good stuff. With luggage, car seats, strollers. Yep, yep. Bucket list of things I want to do with baby J. No, I haven't really thought about the specific things that I want to do with him. Um, I have ideas, but not really anything specific. Do you have to consider immunizations depending on where you're going culturally. You can't go everywhere with a child, right? Right. Where can't you go culturally without a baby or with a baby? I mean, there are some like when I went to Egypt, there was a number of immunizations I had to get. You know, he may not be old enough to get certain immunizations. I had to get typhoid and I had to get um I think Hep C and I had to get tetanus. And I mean he's not even old enough to get a flu shot right now. So there are definitely certain things that you can't do when they're this small. Once he gets older, that's different. I think once he turns 2, it'll be a lot easier to do what I want to do. But even something as simple as going on a cruise, I can't cruise the same with a child that I would cruise by myself. You know, I mean, there are kid things to do on the cruise, but they're usually for bigger kids, not little kids. So I have to choose more kid friendly things or more leisure kind of activities instead of the sort of more educational travel that I'm used to going on, like with walking tours and stuff like that. I can't travel like that with a kid, you know, because their bus ain't gonna be wanting to stop, or the tour ain't gonna be wanting to stop for me to change a diaper. You know what I'm saying? So, and kids want to eat when they want to eat. Can we handle snacks? The certain foods in other countries, and can I tell a kid not to drink the bath water? Am I going to bathe him? If we were in, like, let's say we went to Egypt, we couldn't even brush our teeth with the faucet water. You know what I'm saying? So, am I going to bathe him in bottled water just so he doesn't get the faucet water in his mouth? You know, it is difficult. There's a lot of things to consider with kids. So, I think my plan initially was more domestic travel. with him until, or I should say with them until they're both, till the youngest one is 2. And then we can start international travel. Probably not group travel, but more like leisurely international travel. Probably start with some islands or something like that. When they get a little older, as in like grade school, maybe do some cruises, which would also get us into international waters. Maybe start off with something, like that between the cruises and like all inclusive resort type deals until they get a little bit more independent. And then we can do some of the more educational working tour type things. So, um, I'm saying all of this. That don't mean any of that is going to work out, but that's the plan. Gotta have a plan of some sort. Some sort of plan. Oh, oh boy. Oh boy, baby G. Oh man. You got a lot of air in there, huh? Yeah. That was a hiccup. That wasn't even a burp. Don't eat that. That was the hiccup. Why don't you scratch yourself? But yeah, so let me see, because this thing don't be showing me the chats when they come through all the time. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. I mean, I just in the meantime, there's tons of things to do here. Almost locally. Coronavirus. I know. I know coronavirus is out there. Thanks for sharing it. What about travel mom groups? Hey Gator girl, didn't see you come in. Where you have more eyes. I don't know about any travel mom groups, but there is a Facebook group of single mom travelers. So I'm trying to think, am I a member of that group? I'm not really on Facebook that often these days, but I think definitely people do it, So I think as, the kid or kids get older, it'll be a little bit easier. Even the locals will tell you about the water and bathing, washing produce. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff we couldn't eat because of the way they fertilize, You can't eat certain things and, a lot of stuff. Little kids, you got to keep your eyes on them 24/7. They put stuff in their mouth, anywhere. Find something on the ground, they pick it up, stick it in their mouth, It can be dangerous. I think it's dangerous. You almost got to go on like the leisurely trips to, the places that are a lot more domesticated when they're little, like this. So, yeah. So there's that, but we'll work it out, and hopefully, I haven't abandoned YouTube. I can share some of those experiences with y'all. Hopefully, right, baby G. And you'll just be used to being on the camera, and then he'll be doing all the talking by then, right? He'll be doing all the talking and telling us how good of a big brother he's being, huh? Maybe. 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 Mommy, eat that baby. That baby tastes good. Yeah. Woo. Not impossible, but not advisable for little ones. Yes, yes. Yes, yes. Woo. Whew. All right, y'all. I'm getting dizzy because I've only eaten once today. And it wasn't that much. And I got to get some more water considering that he's now fed twice, 2 or 3 times since the last time I've drinking anything or eaten anything. So, no, that's not true. That's not true. I started this live. I said I just had smash burger, right? So that's not true. I ate. But I do feel like it's time to eat again. Yeah. Yeah. All right, folks. Well, thank you so much. I didn't intend for this live to be 3 hours, but I couldn't do it without you all asking all the great questions and keeping the conversation going. Um, thanks for being around and in the middle of the day. Now I cannot be so scared to can join. Yes, it was so nice chatting with you too, Char. Thank you so much. Um, and hopefully the information, if you came into the live a little late, the purpose of this was to talk about how I survived my postpartum with a C-section virtually on my own. So if you haven't seen the beginning, that was the original purpose of the live. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you, gay girl. Say thank you. Hey, silly mommy for life. We're ending the live now. It's been 3 hours. We gonna go. But do catch the beginning because the original purpose of the live was to give some information and tips on how I survived my postpartum. So there's a lot of good information there, and I'll do also for, what did I say, for Freshly, for Shipped, and for the link for the binder that that's close to the one that I had, the abdominal binder. Yes, sure do. Do DM me for that the California Cryobank info. And hold on, let me see. I was getting ready for upcoming vacation. Oh, I'm so jealous. No worries, silly mommy. It was impromptu. It wasn't scheduled. Have a good rest of the day, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Gator Girl. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. See, I had a nap and everything. Say bye-bye. Oh, he kind of waving. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. He waved. All right, folks. Have a good one. Catch y'all the next time. And I'm going to try to post some more videos. Look out for one tomorrow. All right. All right. Now I don't know how to stop. Let me see. What we going on here? There we go.